Hello, everybody, and welcome to episode number 29 with these fine folks over here. But oh, you notice one of them has a black screen because she has been sucked into a black hole and will never return. Until she wants.
I think this is right.
Yeah, you are exactly right. God damn, he's got it. Blake's got it down, man. I mean, the other two have to step up, otherwise he will leave you in the dirt of interacting with the UI. Yeah, as you can see, our player Felicia is not here today as she got called into work last minute. However, that should not stop us from continuing onwards, as some stuff will happen that will explain her very absence. And I will say right now, it's gonna be a bit strange. And like, it will seem kind of odd, but just trust me, it all makes sense in the long run. Okay? I'm just saying it out now. Long run if we get to the long run, you know. Famously known that we don't make it so long, but yeah, it might seem like a cop-out, but it actually isn't.
Are you doing like an alien abduction?
Kinda, you will see. A UFO will appear and suck out your...
You're asking us to trust you. That's a bad start right there.
Well, not necessarily you, but the viewers maybe, because it will definitely seem out of left field. Anyways, yeah, so we're here, we're back, and we're gonna start with introductions. And as usual, the first one to go
is me.
Yes.
I am Greg, and I am playing Eirik Spanner. I almost forgot his name. The human artificer. I mean, I guess that kind of goes well with what we're about to do. He's probably gonna freak out and have some mental breakdowns on the horizon. So come join me, won't you?
I'm Matt, playing Dr. Fiera, the Chordomancer Wizard. Yeah, this is a safe space. Exploring the unknown, the weird, the strange, playing with magic, playing with crystalises. That's where she's at home. That's her happy space. This is actually pretty comfortable right now, since she doesn't have to think about home.
Hi, I'm Skit. I'm the High Elf Druid Isarel Athena, and she was basically in her element, feeling like she had the knowledge, and then yeah, not so much anymore, and feeling a little bit anxious about what's about to happen to her best friend. Because she knows, like, Arya's gonna do something stupid. So, yeah.
Yep. That is how it is. Anxious players, the favorite meal of a DM. Okay. I think I don't have to say anything else, and don't let the anxiety rise too high. So we're just gonna jump right into the intro. It will take a bit of time to get there. You can all strap in, take a last deep breath before the session actually starts, and you have to make decisions. Hard decisions. I have looked over this landscape 1,000 times. The green grass on the rolling hills, and the strong textured rocky cliffside that drops to meet the horizon. It is beautiful, especially at dawn. The red sky reminds me of that tragic day. An act so unforgivable that the gates of hell opened up. It is as you have said, Your Excellency. May he be used as intended. He must collect blood, and blood he will surely collect, whether he wants it or not, for that is his punishment after all. Truly, his sight even saddens me. But he must not worry for long, as his eternal sin shall soon be forgiven. And may he too, as we all deserve, come to peace. You are most grateful, Your Excellency. We shall establish a new order. The lights we have been following has been dimming, and the people are losing faith by the day. We must show them a new light, a new faith that will not only redeem their belief, but give them the hope they need to fight. In wake of the misfortune of our own country, we shall use this new revelation to rebuild our dominance. The fools are ignorant, forgetting what we have done for them. Oh, their sins must be punished. They may only find salvation in the blood that was spilled from their bodies. For that is the only use we will have from them. We will remind them of our blessed divinity so that they can remember that we are the punishers. We are the judicators, and we are the crucifiers. The world will have their eyes opened, and the people shall see and witness the power that will save them. Prepare the Sin-Bearer Legion and be on your way. The night has been long enough. It is time for the people to wake up and open their eyes to witness a new dawn. And may the light shine ever bright again. Hear me, people. We have been abandoned by the angels, for they saw our sin that we inherited within our blood. We must atone so that we may redeem ourselves and be granted their divine blessings once again. Purge this land of the sinners. Purge this land of the unfaithful, and purge this land of the blight that has taken our sons, our daughters, our mothers and our fathers. For this curse remains as punishment for our ignorance of faith. May this blood crusade vanquish the sin that taints us, and may we finally be free. In the name of the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit, let there be light! Yes. And on to a quick recap. You guys have been spending the last 2 days inside, or well, the last 4 days technically, in the Servalon Great Woods in search for some ancient draconic ruins that have some ties to the Dreadless Fey Court. You are accompanied by Vashina, or more correctly to say, you are accompanying her to kind of be her quote-unquote bodyguard, protect her from whatever ill fate might occur inside of these woods. And you did fight some demons on your way here, and also in the shrine ruins themselves were a couple of UNT snake people, as I like to call them, who you got rid of quite successfully. And with that, the ruins were laying in front of you for you to freely investigate, and that you did. Found out different bits and pieces of information, mainly the kind of interior of this ruin seemed to be the entire ruin seems to be a large tree that has petrified over the long passing of time, and inside of this large petrified tree were numerous murals, specifically at the end of the shrine, that you were kind of reading, and it showed a story of how Fey people came to this land. And also it was dedicated not only to some of the kind of quote-unquote elven spirits. One of them is the son of the Lightweaver, and one of them is one of the heralds, as I was very familiar with. But also they were kind of supported by the local people that used to live here back in the days, a few thousand years ago, which were draconic indigenous people who seem to have built the shrine with the elves, and seems like a large forest-esque draconic entity helped them, and as shown in the mural, a seed was carried and was used to create a large tree. But all of that is now history. Under close investigation, you also found a few bits of armor and armaments, specifically an arrowhead that was very distinctively modern, in the sense that it wasn't 1,000 years old, but maybe a couple of hundred. And Arik's knowledge of craftsmanship allowed him to recognize this piece of armament, which belonged to the Holy Lichnius. And it didn't stop there, but there were also bones and remains of dead people that were also lying here, who also seemed to not have decomposed as strongly, withered as strongly as the environment, also suggesting that this didn't happen that long ago. And as you kind of finish your investigation here after burning the corpses, because they spawned a few demons which you also killed, also saving Iserel on the brink of death by using some innate magical capabilities linked to the chrysalis that you found here, and the pond that seems to also be attuned to this chrysalis. You stepped outside to kind of search maybe if more was to the ruin, and a staircase was outside of the ruins which you went up to, which brought you to a very beautiful, nice garden, kind of inhabited by very tall, bright, warm, emitting sunflowers, currently seeking the sun up in the sky, but also the violet virtue lilies that you've seen spawn around the entire area in the vicinity of this ruin. And at the end of this was also a water basin. But most notably was when Eirik also found numerous corpses and decayed pieces of armor and cloth thrown around on this part of this structure. Also investigating this, you could ascertain that some sort of battle took place here, and once again there were obvious kind of face symbols on the robes of these dead people, but very distinctive marks of Holy Lichnius iconography on the armor pieces. And that is when Arya was kind of keeping an eye out to, you know, see if anything was approaching you, just making safe. You are still outside in the wild. Demons could appear, or any other sort of monstrosity that calls this wood their home. And as she did so, she saw how the clouds started changing, an imminent storm coming. And as these clouds covered the sun, these sunflowers, these 2-meter tall sunflowers, started to wither away, decay, lose their light, and turn black as the red rain of the sky dropped down. And with it, a all too familiar figure to you people arrives out, walking now out of this sunflower field that is now withering away. You can see that the sunflowers are also trying to like avert their gaze from this man. And you all now too obviously notice, without Arya having to say something, turn towards the very tall figure of Calyx. And one thing that is immediately noticeable that is a bit different in his appearance is he still has his chains, he's still blindfolded, so his long black hair, grey, dark grey toned skin, and large bulging veins, also blood red, but this time a dagger inside of his heart. And he walks towards Arya, who you all can now see is linked in eye contact with him, unmoving, whether willingly or not willingly, as he kind of steps forward. Does any one of you want to do something as he's kind of slowly just walking towards her?
Can I tell if it looks like it's an aggressive stance? Like he's
definitely.
like, no.
Yeah, definitely doesn't look aggressive. He's just kind of slowly slanting. You've never seen him take any sort of aggressive stance. He always seems extremely laid back, almost tired in a sense. Extremely tired is how he would describe this walk.
I wouldn't move, but knowing that we have the mind link active, I would basically be telling her in the most reassuring voice that I can. He's not here. He's not real. Look away. Break away. He's not here. Don't let him get to you. He's not here. And kind of repeating that. You know, trying to get to her.
Okay, yeah, make a persuasion check. That is a 6. Though your words may be true, it seems like something is blocking you from communicating with Arya directly, and she seems to be very asphyxiated with the approaching Calyx.
I can't remember, was Zashina up here with us?
No, she stayed behind to continue to walk mute.
Oh, she was doing her thing. Right.
Yeah.
Can we see her through the hole in the, like, looking down into the ruins?
You could potentially if you go towards the hole.
Okay, I wasn't, like, right next to the hole still.
Well, the hole is like one part, and then the west is like this big area that's on top.
Oh, I got you.
Yeah. It's not far away. It's like maybe like 2 meters.
Oh. Okay, yeah, then I'll just, yes, I'm gonna slowly kind of, making sure I'm not looking at Calyx, I'm gonna move towards the hole just close enough so I can peek over to see if I can see her down there.
Okay, you go there. Make a perception check. That is a 18, which is pretty damn good for Eirik. As you go there, expecting to see the interior of, you know, the ruins that you were in, but instead suddenly you start hearing sounds and start seeing things, as what you witness going on beneath you is like a battlefield where multiple people are for some reason fighting. They're like 10, 20, 30 people, some of them wearing armor, kind of running towards other people who seem elven-like, who are trying to run away, and they're being currently pushed towards where the murals are. You can see arrows being shot from behind, killing some of them, falling down, and more noticeably the blood that is currently spilling from all the dead people that are currently being killed here. And there's no sight whatsoever of Vashina.
As I see Arya walking up to him, then I guess I can't tell what she wants to do. I will cast a spell on him. I guess on myself.
Okay.
Here we go again.
Let's see.
And as I start, it's just verbal. I'll just say out loud, I'll learn this one just to make up for that mistake. And I'll cast Intellect Fortress at 4th level, targeting her and myself. And I'll put you in chat.
Okay. This is exactly very nice.
All right.
Okay.
I hope it's not too late.
Nice.
You do that, you can see and feel that your spell is being casted and lands successfully on Arya. And it is after you cast this spell, you see Calyx approach still slowly, but then stop at around maybe like 3 feet in front of her. And with kind of a begrudgingly and almost with a lot of effort raises one of his arms towards his own chest and grabs the dagger, whips it, and pulls it out. And you can hear, the deed has been done. And then lets it drop to the ground. And I swear you can see a similar deja vu as this dagger is falling towards the ground. You almost expect it, almost maybe even wish for it to just fall through, but it falls onto the grass and stays there. And you can see even more blood just kind of gushing and pouring out of now his open wound of where his heart would be, just pouring down onto the floor. And then you can see him raise one of his hands kind of towards Arya at the side of the face. I am so sorry. And then he looks to you, Isoel. And then just stands there.
My eyes are on Arya at all times. I do not break eye contact with my friend.
Okay. Then as you're all standing there, you can see kind of Calyx take his arm away a bit, kind of taking his other arm, almost like trying to put both arms on Arya's shoulder. And as he's kind of lifting his left arm, you suddenly see, kind of out of nowhere behind Calyx, a wooden door appear. Without any sense of where it came from, no light, no apparition, no sense that a spell was casted and it just opens up suddenly and leads into a space beyond where you are. You can see it's almost like a cross-dimensional thing that you're looking through, and the inside of this looks like a mausoleum. There's a guy standing behind it. A guy who's in black robes. He has a top hat, a cylinder hat, and a crow mask. Looks a bit like the guards that you saw in Zunania at the underground, but distinctively different. He looks almost like a well-dressed gentleman. And as soon as the door opens up, you can see that both Calyx and Arya get sucked into the door. Is there anything you would like to do as this is currently happening in an instant, as it being dragged inside of this door?
I'm gonna try and dispel magic at 4th level on the door.
Okay, you try and do dispel magic. That is an action, not a reaction, if I'm correct.
Oh, yeah, it is.
So you kind of pull it out. I will guess make a dexterity check.
Okay.
Can I try to memorize the person beyond the door, what they look like, you know, how big they are, if I can figure out the race? Just I want to note every distinguished thing about their look.
Yes, you can do that. That is a 10. So as you kind of seeing this happen, you can see Alex just kind of almost vacuum sucked inside of the door. You unleash the spell, but as soon as you do it, the door closes and just vanishes, and Wizard Calyx and Arya disappear from sight. And as soon as that happens, you can see that suddenly the clouds turn back to normal and the storm disappears. And the sunflowers that were once decayed are just standing there normally, almost as if a illusion was just discarded from your head. And you're just standing where you once were a minute ago.
And downstairs?
You look downstairs again, and the visions of whatever kind of battle is gone, and you can see Vashina very clearly just sitting there and still studying the murals.
I'm gonna run to exactly where the door was and trying to see if there's any like remnants or like, I don't know, anything that could indicate that something happened in that spot.
Yeah, you can make an investigation check. That's a 5. Unfortunately, looking around there, you don't see anything. It's almost as if everything you just saw didn't happen, though you probably don't see anything because you are highly distracted by the very obvious dagger that is still there, covered in blood, and you, of all people, would definitely recognize that this is one of Arya's daggers.
Ooh, his blood.
Yeah. I'll take the dagger and kind of look at it and see if there's anything different from what I remember the last time I looked at Arya's daggers. Like if there's like a similar mark to what we have on our arm, or like if it looked damaged or anything like that.
Yeah, you can make an investigation check again on the dagger itself.
Yep.
That's
I'm
an
rolling
8.
terrible tonight.
Man, they are. Same with my last group yesterday, and it didn't turn out well for them. Yeah, I think you are very shocked, and this shock is kind of just getting to your mind a bit, and you aren't able to focus as much. But as far as you can tell from a quick glance, other than it being covered very obviously in blood, one thing you do notice is that underneath the very liquid blood, there's some dried blood on there as well. Can't tell how long it's been dried, or if it's the same blood, you don't really know that. But from a first glance, yeah, that definitely just seems like the dagger that Arya always has. She always has one type of dagger, and that is exactly it. But other than that, you can't discern any difference.
I'll pocket it like next to my herbalism pouch and just kind of tap on it and say, I'm gonna find you. I'll figure it out. And turn back to the others.
Yeah, I'm at a loss. Was he injured by her dagger? And why did he take her?
You hear?
I don't know if we can figure that out here.
You hear a voice behind you, Fiera. It says, "It's because of you, dumbass." And then behind Fiera, you can see the same man you saw inside of the door standing behind you. Yeah, it's your fault.
Hello.
Nah, don't try and play nice.
No, I'm not playing nice. I'm playing stupid right now.
Okay, good.
Where did you come from? Who are you?
Who are you?
Excuse me, I don't need to tell you that. I'm just here to tell you one thing, and that is this person right here, pointing on Fiera, has been messing around quite a bit. Okay, and I'm the guy who has to fix all of her problems. Yeah, your friend just now fucked up, okay? Don't worry, she's okay. She will return. But if this continues, maybe she won't.
Can you be more specific?
I mean, you're supposed to be the smart one in this group, right? Come on. Let's not pretend to be dumb, okay? You are doing some funky shit. You've seen it yourself. You know what I'm saying? These two don't understand. You definitely do. You've been delving in too deep. And now you're feeling the consequences.
Can I tell if I'm hallucinating?
You can make an insight shit inside of yourself.
We've already spoken to them, though.
I'm gonna walk up to him like this close to his face.
I have no idea what's happening.
Yeah, I'm gonna get like this close to his face and I'll just... Because I'm pretty tall, so I don't know how tall he is. I don't know if I'm gonna be like nose to nose or like above or under, but basically like...
Yeah, you're a bit above him from the face. He's still wearing this crow mask and he has like this top hat, so you're kind of on eye level with this top hat.
Yeah, I'm gonna look down to like where the eyes are on his crow mask and just like kind of smack it on the top of the nose and be like, you touch a hair off her head, you're dead. I don't know who you are. I don't care who you are. I don't know what the shit you're doing, but you don't hurt my friend. And I'll back away.
Okay, as you flick him, you notice something very weird. Something very, very weird. It's like it's like there's an infinite distance between your finger and his hat and it never touches it. You just have this moment of it's kind of like you're just being pushed away, but at the same time you're moving forward, and there's just this infinite gap that never actually closes. And then the flick goes through in a sense, but you never touch him. And he says, kind of now first time kind of looking at you and says, I ain't got no business with your friend, okay? Like I said, I'm here to fix her problem, okay? If you want to blame anyone, it's this person, okay? Don't look at me.
Nah.
Is he pointing at me?
All of this would not have happened if Calyx didn't believe he was a god or something.
People call him a pagan, so that would be... unlikely.
Well, to be fair, all of this wouldn't have happened if Fiera hadn't brought us to the pit.
Excuse me.
Exactly. That guy's
I'm just
understand.
saying. Listen, when someone puts a little bit of information in front of you, it makes you think a little bit retrospectively.
Yeah.
How could we have known that going to see a simple show would turn into this?
We were told it was a big fighting arena in the middle of an underground city where a bunch of scoundrels and thieves and dark shit happens. That wasn't.
Okay. You guys are missing the point. The point is, she's doing crazy shit. Just stop it. Okay? Dang. Okay. That's everything I needed to say. If you continue doing this, if I see you guys again, oh boy. Better believe you don't. Trust me. Better believe you don't. Okay? I don't want to see you guys, okay?
You're leaving now? You've answered nothing.
I don't have to. All I'm saying is, stop doing your crazy shit. Okay? Next time, as a version of you is gonna replace you. And
Whoa!
I have to bring her here. I don't want to do that. Okay? Yeah, think about that. Think about that for a while. And he kind of turns around and then just disappears.
Oh, actually puts me at ease.
Now I'm right up in Fiera's face going, what?
I don't know.
Yes, you do.
I don't know him. Or her. Or it. Them. I'll go with them.
So, I think if I understand your magic correctly, you like explore different possibilities, different avenues with like destiny and all that and like time and space and everything that is around us. Is
Yeah.
that what he's referring to? What they are referring to?
That was their last comment, I assume.
Because that shit saved my life a couple times now.
Exactly. It's not inherently bad.
I mean, I see the dangers of it if it's not done correctly or if someone is a little bit too crazy with it. But I mean, we just went through a whole episode of you like wanting to stop this shit because you thought you went too far. So I don't see. I don't understand why now they are appearing in front of us when clearly, like, I think at least I try to believe that you're trying to be on the good track of things, if I make sense. Or are they trying to say that what you were doing before you went a little cuckoo was actually the right way to do things? Or now I'm just confused. Are we talking to the real Fiera or is this another version of Fiera?
I flicker in the forehead.
Ow.
Yeah, that didn't answer the question, but that was kind of fun.
See, I can't even answer that question because I wouldn't know unless I was from another time and had those memories. But from what I recall, I've been the only one in this world. Well, okay, that's not true. Because I've brought other versions of myself here, but only in.
Hey, what? is happening?
Only in like pieces, right? Because like you mentioned, Azrael, I kind of grasp at those infinite possibilities and just take what I need. Information here, magic there.
Other version of myself here. What?
If this whole thing of different versions of ourselves is to be true, that means there is a version of Eirik that is actually fun to talk to.
Ouch. Okay. Ouch.
Not many though.
I
That was
see
a
what you're
joke.
saying. I see what you're saying.
That was a joke. I like the Eirik that we have now. It wouldn't be the same if it wasn't you. You're keeping us grounded.
Okay. Main issue here though, I believe this does have to do with Calyx, because
No.
I'm gonna turn around. We're walking back down. Stop. Let's try that again. Okay, so I believe whatever just happened has to do with Calyx. In the sense, he seems to take in Arya, and this has to do with Arya, so I assume it has to do with what magic I tried to use on her, and he seems to be trying to fix it.
No. And he's
Oh,
behind
Jesus.
you again. That ain't it.
Oh, you could have stayed here and answered questions.
I was here the whole time. Of all people, you should know that that's true. Or could be true.
Yes, we're everywhere at all times, equally. Yeah. Oh god.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay, it seems like you don't understand. Then hit me. What do you not understand? It's so basic.
I throw something at him because he asked me to hit him.
You can see it. And it falls onto the ground. But it looks like it hits him, but at the same time it doesn't. Because he doesn't react one way or the other. Okay, so no questions, so you're gonna stop doing your crazy shit?
No?
Oh my god. Oh my god. Why is my job so hard?
Now, is their job hard? Or could you be better at it? Is there a version of you out there that is good at this job that I could actually speak to?
I'm everywhere. You know, the whole point of my job is to ensure that you guys can do whatever the fuck you want. Sounds pretty good, right? Unless some of you try to make other parts of you not do whatever the fuck they want. And then I gotta go in and fix it.
Ah, this does have to do with me and Calyx then, not anyone else's.
No! That guy ain't got anything to do with this. It is just you, man. That guy ain't
Yes.
doing shit.
Oh, great. Well, please explain what wrongdoings have I done that are so terrible that whatever you are has come to show me the right path.
Okay, here. I have to explain this so often, so I created a metaphor. You are at an orphanage. Okay? Your mama left you behind. I don't care. You are given food. You eat it. But you're still hungry and you want more. So, you see a plate next to you. The guy who was eating it left for the bathroom, but he still got some food left. So, you, in your own greed, decide to take it. Now, the guy who comes from the bathroom back ain't got no food no more. Doesn't sound so good, doesn't sound so fair. Now, I'm the guy who makes sure everyone gets the same amount of food And that ain't nobody in this orphanage stealing food from other people. Okay? You doing exactly that. Just it ain't no food, but instead, how should we say it? Aspects of yourself.
So I'm not supposed to be dipping into other realities, is what you say.
Yeah, kinda. Some people
this
can
is-
do it.
There's a problem with your metaphor, though. If there are other versions of me that are doing the exact same thing, then if I dip to the right and they dip to the right, then at the end of the day, we're all equal.
Nah. That's where you're wrong. Okay? It's like knitting. If you skip one knot, the entire thing is fucked. I'm just making an example to localize on your problem right here. Okay? You are one of many knots in a big sweater. But if you fuck up one knot, the rest can also disassemble, depending how big you fuck up. Right now, everything you've done, kinda small, but I'm warning you, if you continue, that shit will grow. Okay? If you don't learn how to actually use your magic, or at least consider the rest of the pullover.
What if these other versions of myself that I'm tapping into and borrowing from give me permission?
Then you're fine. But right now,
Great.
they definitely don't. And that's why I'm here.
See. So taking from the cookie jar without permission is bad, but if you ask for permission nicely and they say okay, then you can.
Yeah, and if you take something from the cookie jar, usually you have to give something in return. Right?
The hell kind of cookie jar did you have?
One that is based on capitalism, okay? What I'm saying is, if you take something, you gotta give something. And if you don't make the choice, I will have to be the one to make the choice. And trust me, you don't want that. I'm on your side on this, okay? I'm trying to help
There's
you.
no proof of that, is there? You're on the side of whatever makes the biggest, or sorry, smallest splash. Or no splash, ideally, I guess.
Yeah, no splash, best splash.
Yeah, give me like a worst case scenario.
Worst case scenario?
Of like repercussions if.
Oh,
Yeah.
you see all this? You still got all this? Your memories? Gone. You like people? Gone. That tree over there? Gone. You're one part of a larger, like I said, a pulley. You're a thread in many threads that make a bigger thread. And that bigger thread makes a pullover. And depending how big you fuck up, the entire pullover can get fucked up. And the pullover is your reality. Okay? Now,
Why wasn't I worn this when I first learned about these abilities? Because I assume you can probably transverse time better than I can.
yeah.
Then you would have known I would have.
No.
probability
Not
greatly.
not time. Everything is coexisting at the same space. And if I do my job here right, then I actually did what you just said. Like I said, you guys like to believe you got freedom of choice. Let me tell you something. That's true. There ain't no strings dictating your destiny or some shit, okay? There's a person that makes sure that you can do whatever the fuck you want, including me. Yeah? I don't jump in the future and decide which decisions you make. Like I said, you can still do your fucked up shit, but if it gets too crazy, I have to step in Just to make sure not the entire thing collides.
And who's your boss?
That is not relevant information. Don't worry, you'll probably meet her at some point.
Yeah, I'm sure I'll try. Is Arya okay?
Yeah, cause she was me now, and not with you. You remember the first thing you did with her? When you were back at the books?
Yes.
Yeah, she got fucked up, right?
Yeah, from what I can tell, I asked for some powerful magic to aid her, and I found someone with magic too powerful.
Exactly. And what basically happened is you kind of fucked up her knot. So in order to untie that knot, I have to take her out, fix that knot, so I can bring her back in, so she's okay.
Okay, but why did Calyx have to be here for that?
I don't know.
So you don't know who Calyx is?
You're a guy who lives here. Well, not born here. Well, kind of did born here. It's weird. Weird guy.
Okay, but you didn't come together. Like you're not like working with him too.
No. It's because of the first stuff that your friend here did to your other friend.
Uh-huh.
You know, he was also involved in that procedure.
Right.
Alright? They're not bad. So, I gotta take both of them out of the equation. So I can untie them and then put them back in. So that said,
Well, take your time with that.
Are we talking about what happened in the library when I was seeing my professor?
Yeah, and then we
assume
had to
so.
take her to the hospital.
Yeah, the thing I was told not to worry about.
talking to me?
No, you're not a thing. Well, I guess you are a thing, but you're also someone, I guess. But
Yeah. Well, the easiest way to explain is who was there. Some people were with her when that happened, and I think you experienced something that some people would call a reality shift, where everything you just experienced didn't happen. Yeah? That's because of that, okay? If you do that too much, it will happen even often. You don't want that.
To be fair, I have been trying to keep her in check and not letting her just like do that all too frequently.
I took a break from magic for like a day.
Oh.
which is
Maybe
big
they
for
did.
her.
Oh, it's solved. Everything's better.
Shouldn't stop doing it, you should learn doing it better. Same thing you told to me.
Baby steps. Baby steps. Hopefully, when we leave this place, we know a little bit more and we can actually maybe focus on something else than like a crazy guy that try to fucks with my friends' brains, or like a war everywhere, and we can actually maybe perhaps help Fiera not break reality or something.
You got good
If
friends.
that's even possible.
Okay. Questions, answers.
Well, I mean, the biggest question is, still, who are you?
Well, you just can't call me the engineer, okay?
Noted.
Yeah, name's irrelevant in my line of job.
Just given the fact that the name is the engineer, does that ring any bells in Iric's head?
Can make a history check if you want to.
I
18. None at all.
Yeah.
None at all.
Not the same engineer.
Yep. Probably not.
The job that he's referring to, and like the fact that he calls himself a being with a different name, does that feel at all any familiar with like my knowledge of the weave or anything like that?
Could make an either history or even arcana if you want to.
I'll go with history because it's better. Probably not.
Nope,
Seeing as
no.
18 was not good enough.
Yeah, he just seems like a random ass dude that appeared here and is spouting complete nonsense, but he seems to be confident in what he's saying.
I'm trying to remember. There's like a movie that's really similar to this,
Is there?
where you have to follow a certain fate, and there's people that watch you with like books, and if you go off a certain line of that fate, they literally like manipulate your mind in life so it goes a certain way. They're like angels.
Isn't it like Phoenix Rising, where like one of the great gods tells the story of like I don't know who, and they're like, no, that's not how the story goes. It actually goes this way, and was that it?
I don't know any of those
I
two.
think it's a different one.
I don't know what you guys are talking about.
Yeah, me neither.
I'll look it up on my time.
But it does sound... nah. You will know if it sounds...
Well, eventually they break fate, and God has to step in.
Hey, could you stop what you're doing?
Right, so study more, and if I practice not so chaotically.
Yeah. Intention.
Right. Okay, can we go back to our lives now, and you'll let us know when Arya's ready to come back, I assume?
And
Since you're going to be with us forever now?
And he's gone.
Lovely. Okay. Yeah, they don't put a warning at the start of a spellbook. I'm just going to throw that out there. Rules I've read, the books I've gone through, no warning.
For what it's worth, I don't see you as an evil or wrongdoing person. I think you're trying to do your best. Maybe your best is still beginner, I guess, is what this engineer said.
Well, it sounds like I'm supposed to be learning this, just
Yeah.
I need to take more caution.
Yeah. I think it was more of a warning of like, hey, get your knowledge together,
Yes.
or else.
Yeah. I guess I wouldn't be too surprised. I guess I can warn you both now. If something were to happen to me, I do think there's a chance I could be replaced by another version of myself. Either if I die, or if one just wants to take over my life because theirs is worse. So maybe just be ready for that.
There was a time when I was just happy working in my workshop doing little mundane tasks. Honestly.
But that's for
what
another
you're
day.
saying, so what you're saying is, if we don't see you for a few hours, we should have a code word for when you come back to make sure that you're actually you and not another you.
Well, no. If they're even half as smart as I am, they will know that code word. Just keep an eye open for any changes.
Literally everything is changing around us at every minute.
Great. Speaking of that, should we get back to work? See if there's anything left here to explore. Because there's a lot happening everywhere, and we need to figure out what we're doing. I mean, our main thing is still to figure out Calyx, right? We need to get rid of these. I guess, can I examine the brand, see if it's changed after that encounter?
I'm making an investigate.
16.
You look at it, it still looks the same.
Yeah, Calyx is a problem. Especially if he's still in Sunir, and he's going to be, my assumption is going to be released. I don't know who he's going to kill. Probably everybody. So yeah, let's finish up here so we can go figure that out. You don't look happy, Eric.
When does
I don't know. I don't know what I am right now. I'll be real.
But you do want to get rid of the mark, right?
Yes.
Maybe focus on that.
I don't. If it was that easy, I'd already be doing it.
There.
Well, you know, just saying, I could charm you into not thinking about it.
Yeah.
Just putting it out there, you know.
No. I just no. That's not.
I figure as much. Just saying, it's there.
Actually, do you mind trying using that on me? To do
Tomorrow
anything?
morning, yeah,
Oh.
tomorrow morning I could. Yeah, it is in the realm of things that I can do. I just
I thought
didn't
you had it
think.
prepared now. I got you.
No, I'm just saying it's one of the possibilities that I have.
Understood. Okay, interesting. Well, have we checked out everything up here?
There's a bunch of bodies over there.
Yeah, I'm good. And I just grabbed that rusty ring. I have an idea of who they were, so...
Yeah. I mean, explain, because this seems like a lot of these things that are happening revolve around your people, so...
I guess, can I make, like, a history check for, like, what year was the... Or, like, what year range was the, like, the Angels Cried situation?
Yep, coming.
Like, the war, specifically.
Calling it a war is very generous.
Well, the battle.
Yeah, 22. Yeah, you would know the exact date probably because pretty prevalent in what you're doing and has been mentioned several of times. It was in the year 3241 PE, which is 351 years ago.
Okay, and I think it was like a session one thing when I brought up when the Archbishop died. That was what ignited it when he went to Talos and was assassinated.
Yep, that is what the people say.
Gotcha. And during that, I guess before that, Dragonborn were all over the place.
Yep, as far as you're concerned. Not necessarily all over the place, there were like
Well,
several localized areas where they resided.
and then do I know the last sighting of a dragon?
A dragon, like a dragon?
Like a dragon.
As far as you're concerned, they are considered extinct for the last 2,000 years.
2000.
So since the Angelic War happened, after that, that's when people say that the angels killed all the dragons.
It's a long time ago. 2000. Yeah, that sounds specific. Okay, yeah, I'll start going over everything else. So as you, I'm sure, remember from the meeting, I brought up that one of our archbishops went to Tellus and he was assassinated. That
Your father?
No, this was a couple hundred years ago.
Oh.
My father was just a diplomat. Trying to, well, doing the exact same thing, I guess, trying to help Tellus. But they don't want help, so what can you do? But after that, my people were upset, and the day the angels cried when all the vile bloods that were of dragon descent were slaughtered. I believe those bodies are from that attack.
So everything. I didn't say this. When Calyx was here, I looked down inside. Fashina was gone, and there was a battle happening underneath me. Is that what that was? Was I just like witnessing history? Yeah, it's weird.
Do you recall what races were fighting?
It was just, I mean, it looked like a bunch of elven looking things. Kind of a lot happening. Wasn't really looking at specifics. Kind of just like a lot of fire and blood.
I would probably assume you saw basically what happened up here, and I kind of point towards the bodies.
Yeah.
Or
I mean, there were also more bodies downstairs.
it was an illusion, right? It could be what's happening back in Sunanir.
Ay, jeez.
It could be that, or because it's basically what happened here also 300-400 years ago when my people fought for their lives here. And now we're doing the exact same thing in Sunanir.
There, yes. Unfortunately, Arda has the sending stones. Could send a message and check. But when I sent a message to Cinnifer, she just said strange things are happening. And that, the people from Colas were there, the Legion was there, and Calyx was there.
So either she had no way of really explaining what was going on, or was she like under duress? Was somebody like standing in front of her while she was responding?
I mean, if you saw blood rain from the sky.
I did, by the way, just now. I have seen it.
Right.
People from Colas are in Sunanir?
The ones that were transporting Calyx.
Right. Okay, yeah. These
I have
people.
his name. Lion's Guard, which are, soldiers.
Right.
One quick thing I would like to add is, so the Angelic War was, I said 2000, I was like, an average wasn't exactly, it was 1787 years ago. Now you know why I said 2000, because I didn't have the exact number in my mind. Alec, since you rolled a good perception check as you were looking down, you saw that the elven figures that were dressed in like these very distinctive robes that you also find here.
Oh. Okay, so you did get a call back.
Which those robes I'm gonna start like picking up, and like if any of them look, I mean I can do mending so it wouldn't matter. I'll just start collecting a bunch of the robes that I can and balling them up and taking them with me.
As Eirik is looking at them, can I see if they kind of look like the robes that my mentor would have worn? Like, do they look fake courtish, or like, stuff that I would have seen with my mentor during my studies?
Yeah, you can make a investigation check. And 11. It's hard to tell. It's like really just bits and pieces, and it's so dirty. Any sort of colors that they had is mainly bleached or just stained all to hell. So can't tell. Like if you maybe take the time to maybe try and piece them together or stuff like that, or try to find larger draperies, you might be able to tell. But just from what you have right now, hard to tell.
I'm just gonna, once I'm finished collecting, I'm gonna just walk to the complete opposite end of the sunflower field and look off the other side of the ruins and just see what's there.
Okay, yeah, make a perception check then.
Never mind.
6. Take a gander. You see trees. Oh, trees. Now, one thing you do notice is that you are surrounded, like I said, in a ring of like these gargantuan trees. Not as big as the ruin that you're in, but they are kind of like circled around. You can definitely see that it was probably at some point intentionally placed like that.
Well, I think I've looked around up here plenty. The flowers are interesting, but I don't really have interest in weaponizing them.
I think they are doing their job at keeping this place safe, at least up here. I think it would be disrespectful to the dead to disturb them.
Right, souls. Let's have glamour. I have nothing to ask him right now. Okay, I'm gonna go down below. I'll head back down.
Okay.
I'm gonna misty step and go right down.
Okay, you are 100 feet above ground, but the last 30 feet you can misty step down.
Okay, I'll do that.
Well, technically, you could try to just jump through the hole and then wait 30 feet and then misty step while in the air.
Ooh.
Well, yeah, I mean, that's what I was gonna do.
Oh, okay, okay. Yeah, you can do that. You see, Eric just jumped down the hole. So the most exciting thing he has ever done since you've known him. It's just jump down a hole. And you appear behind Vashina. But she's very focused on continually drawing the mural.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't have feather fall today. Or else I would jump.
Hey, if
I'm
I figured out I can do it, so I'm gonna do it. When it's, either useful or fun. So
There you go.
I could have done it, but I feel like I didn't want to leave Piera alone, walking back like a mere mortal.
Oh,
But I could have done it.
Okay, so you all return to the Tower of Weird, I presume.
I guess let's talk to Machine and see what more left she thinks there is to explore here. How about that? So I'll just, as I'm walking up here, I'll just send a message to get her attention. Well, we're back from the top. Hello. How's your research down here going?
It's going forward. I'm currently drawing down the last mural. After that, I think I shall be finished. And how was the top?
By any chance, in the last maybe 5-10 minutes, did you feel any type of disturbance in the air or anything weird?
Are you referencing the tower? There's the word weird spelled on it.
No, like actually, like not normal.
I mean, not the last 5-10 minutes, also not the last 4-5 hours, no.
no, like blood rain or anything. Just as a total off the cuff idea, like it didn't rain blood down here for any reason.
No, like ancient beings or maybe now beings like having an epic battle of some sort around you.
The bones of all the decomposing bodies out in the corner didn't like rise up and start fighting each other.
No, like weird voices.
No doors popping up out of nowhere and looking into a void that you don't know where it is.
Guy in a top hat, crow mask.
I feel like you're being very specific right now.
No, these are just totally random things.
Of course.
They don't have anything to do with each other.
And definitely not me.
No, definitely not.
And Arya is absolutely still with us.
Yes,
She's just scouting.
absolutely.
My deception check if you wanna lie. or if you're doing it.
I'm not trying to lie. I'm just
Okay.
being super dumb about it.
Yeah, okay.
Yep.
Yeah, then she were like just kind of clocked out. It's like. I mean, the weirdest thing I've seen is just a red dragon flying by.
I'm sorry, what?
Yeah, I can do the same thing as you guys do.
Oh, I get it.
Ooh.
I get it. Oh. Yeah, but I wasn't lying. She's gone.
And the rest of the stuff?
Oh no,
Also
we're not
true.
lying. Yeah, it all happened.
Okay, you guys are crazy, but that's what I signed up for.
She'll be back.
Remember when we told you that like this weird dude tend to appear out of nowhere?
I'd make like a use prestidigitation, make like a hand size illusion of him.
Of?
Like that guy.
Of the guy with the mask and the hat.
Oh. Of the engineer, so you wanted to do Calyx.
Oh,
Yeah, I'm talking
I
about
used
Calyx.
both hands.
Dual
So,
wield.
so remember when we told you, like, we went to the arena and, like, this weird guy, like, started meddling with my friend's brains? Well, he appeared here again, like, 5-10 minutes ago. And
Okay.
took Arya with him.
So you're saying the guy you met in the arena took Arya with him.
But
That's exactly.
according,
Yeah.
but according to guy in a top hat, she's fine.
Okay.
I feel like this is like some sort of setup for a bigger joke that I'm not understanding.
Oh no!
I
No
wish.
jokes.
But it's like
I
the,
No
wish it was a
jokes.
joke.
the next thing that's gonna happen is he's gonna summon a rabbit out of his top hat. I've seen that before.
Oh no, we're not talking about like petty bard magicians like trying to pickpocket you while you're looking at their friends doing stupid things in the street.
I have no honest reaction to this, cause yeah, I thought the Mark was already complicated enough, and now a guy in a top hat maybe kidnapped your friend.
It sounds like he is trying to help Arya after the spell I tried to use to help her went awry.
No, Arya. Her name is Arya. Not Arya. Arya.
Good one.
Ah. Thank you.
Now you see why I think you're doing a joke.
Oh no, I mean, everything was true. Like honestly, everything was true.
Make a persuasion check.
Ay.
Um,
Oh fuck.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
Like,
does
Yeah.
does the title The Engineer tell you anything?
let's see if Ashina engineer. Now looks at you. So looks at Eirik. Aren't you like some sort of engineer?
Yeah, I tried that already. It's no, we're not. It's totally different things.
Oh,
Totally different things.
I mean, to be fair, I don't know how any of this actually helps you or has anything to do with what we're here for. But Arya's gonna be gone for a bit. She should be back when she's better. And magic
No,
is
she'll be back
insane.
when you're better. Apparently.
When we're both better.
I believe that's what the engineer said. And then I'll pull the dagger out of my belt and say, Arya had threatened Calyx with this dagger, and I'm kind of holding it like in between my fingers. And a couple days ago, he basically made a move as to say as if he was kind of dropping the dagger or anything, and it just kind of vanished. But now it's here in my hands. So I don't know what's going on. I don't know who to believe anymore. But according to this top hat guy, she's fine. And I choose to believe him for now.
It got me so crazy.
this is hard to take in. Okay, you know the weird thing about all of this is, and the one thing that is like kind of, you know, quote unquote putting me off is just the fact that this guy is wearing a top hat. It just seems so random. Okay, it's covered in a lot of blood. Was Arya stabbed with it, or
It came out of Calyx's heart.
Which is strange, right? Because he's supposed to be impervious to weapons.
Well, it didn't look like it was really doing any damage to him.
I don't think this is actually Calyx's blood.
Doesn't any one of you have, I don't know, an identify spell? Could probably work.
Eric's got goggles.
Does that work on blood?
I mean, the dagger, maybe it will say, give you information about. You could write on blood. I think it gives you, as far as I'm concerned.
I mean,
This dagger was most recently inside of this person.
Well, maybe not that.
I mean, I can do it ritually, but Iric, you're...
Oh yeah, no, I just drink. I'll look at it.
Okay, and you also cast.
Identify.
You look at it, and you are you looking at the blood or the dagger?
The blood.
The
Blood.
blood. You look at it, and you get it's blood.
Yeah, it's blood.
I mean, at least you know that it hasn't been tampered with. It's not magical.
I mean, look at all my divine stuff here. Jeez, I have to have something. Do you have any connections with what was Arya's last name?
Einsicht.
Einsicht. With someone in Vali that can check on the Einsicht family.
My dad. But he's not
He-
answering.
He seemed busy. So maybe we could have somebody check on him as well.
Everybody we need is dying, dead, or non-responsive.
And we're here, so it's kind of hard for us to get tabs on them. But if I'm talking to Vashina, if you know someone in Valley that could at least check on them, then do you know?
Well, let me first see if I have sending prepared.
Do we
No, I don't.
have do you know, Vashina, if there's anyone in at the archives or in the town around the archives, which I definitely forgot the name right now. Do you know if we have anyone that has a that has an armor that has 8 red dots on musk with 8 spider legs?
That's a natural one. No, this doesn't seem familiar at all. Also, not much connections in Korvalir. No offense, hate to the place, don't like politics.
Yeah.
It's fair.
The
I feel like I know someone.
the person I'm referring to, I don't know, you guys have heard his name is Duke Kronberg, who has sided with a faction now, but he is one of my dad's closest work related person. Like, they worked extremely closely. So and he deals, let me put it this way, he deals in underground information and has kind of eyes and, spiders with eyes and legs. he has eyes kind of everywhere ish. He knows a lot of things, which is why I asked if he maybe had people at the archives who could enter in contact with him quickly and get the information we need.
Kronberg. I mean, I've heard his name before, definitely. Duur. But he seems like a person you would want to, I don't know, stay away from.
I grew up with that man eating at my table a few times a week. I thought I could trust him. When I left Corvalli, I thought he would be one of my closest allies, and now I'm starting to think that he might actually be one of my enemies.
How about maybe if the strings of your problems really reach everywhere? Jesus Christ. Who is Jesus Christ? Oh, famous person back in the days, famous playwright. Good old JC. How about maybe try and list other people you can trust, and then maybe work from there?
You're looking at them.
Right now, we're all in this room.
And there's no one else.
And someone else somewhere, wherever Arya went.
With everything that's been happening to us, we do not know who we can still trust.
I mean, what about the page boy of Fiera? What about him?
Oh, right.
Page boy. Yes. No, as long as his sister's taken care of, and that's also something on our list to cure a blood curse that hasn't been cured yet.
But what I was saying, he's also an ally, right?
Yeah, no, he's great.
So there's one more person. That is.
I guess we kind of can trust Sinafor.
We can.
She's been the one constant thing on our journey so far that has been there to help us and guide us.
Yeah, I mean, the politics of this is a disaster. But I think we just wait and I can check on your father again in a couple hours. Maybe he can respond then. And then if he does, we can have him check on Arya's family. But our main focus is still Calyx. Before we came in touch, well, I mean, we'll have to dive back into politics once we get back to Sunir, if that's where we're headed. But that's even further down the road. I think we have too many problems, and we just need to focus on one at a time. Yeah, see, I agree.
Too many.
Yep. You know, step 1, let's finish examining this temple. Step 2, archive. Step 3, question mark.
Right. Well, step 1 will be pretty easily. I think once I finish this, maybe an hour or so, we can apart unless you found anything else. I think it's your insight we've looked through as deeply as we could the last 2 days.
Outside, we only found like a flower garden with remnants of a battle from years ago.
Interesting.
I guess after that, I'll just go into detail of who we assume the bodies are from and what the flowers are for, and the souls that are connected to them after they grew from like the bodies, and yeah, that's about it.
Yeah, I think I would have drawn a similar conclusion. Interesting. But holy lich is people here. But did you find any, I don't know, dragonborn bones?
I guess I didn't look that closely.
I mean, they should be fairly obvious compared to a human skull.
It was just elven and human, right?
So, wait, your theory is, or what was your?
I guess I thought they came here out of revenge during the, calamity of the Day the Angels Cried. There's obviously a dead dragon down below, so did they know about that? Is that why they're here? Did they come here for something else? I guess we have more questions.
As far as I can,
I know who came here. We've already met the Legion, I believe.
Oh. Okay.
Unless I'm mistaken, they were following the Angel of Off, the Angel of Anger.
Would make a lot of sense. They were the most active legion during that
Here's
Crimson Day.
here's the thing where I'm trying to put 2 and 2 together and they're not connecting. You said the day the angels cried was what, like 1700 years ago, something like that, 2000 years ago ish.
350.
Oh,
The Angelic War was about
okay.
1700 years ago.
That makes more sense then, because I estimated the bodies to be maybe 300, 400 years old. So it would make sense then.
But elves aren't considered vile blood. Obviously, you and I still live. So what did they? Well, I mean, if they found out that the elves were connected
Maybe
to the dragons.
maybe the elves wanted to protect the dragonborns that protected them before. Maybe the Lichness figured out that, I don't know, the elves and dragonborns were living together here. There's like so many theories.
I mean, there's a dragon mural.
Yeah, I guess if they saw people living here, they probably would have killed them as well. So I guess that makes sense. Oh, I have to research that. That is, as far as I'm concerned, I didn't read about any elven massacres during the Day the Angels Cried. So I only heard about the vile bloods, and they were very distinct about who is considered a vile blood.
I mean, when there's a group of people with a license to kill, are they really gonna stop when someone's in their way? Like,
Yeah, I mean, if someone's in their way. But if they just so happen to coexist, then that is a different thing. I have to ask some of the other historians in the Zephyr maybe they know more. I know that Liranza specializes in Azathian history, so maybe she knows more about kind of the politics that went around here.
Yes. We've looked around inside. Looked above. Tree was grown. You know, they were killed. And then it was abandoned, more or less. Yeah, I think we've uncovered just about everything.
Right, well, if that's it, then we should make due back to the Zephyr archives then. Shouldn't waste more time here. Staying outside longer just means dangers are more likely to happen. Just give me another hour and then I also get my things together.
I look toward Eirik. So that chest, are you going to carry that?
Yeah, to be honest, I don't know. I don't know what to do about that.
I could attempt to attune it to my tower. I don't know about the money though. I may have to fiddle with it a little bit.
Yeah, see, I don't care about the chest.
Well,
It's what's inside is what counts to me. If you can attune the chest to your tower, that's not really going to help if the money's not going to be there.
Right. I guess. Do I know if I could attune the chest to the tower, and then whatever is in the chest is also connected, or like can be taken in or out, or how could I do that?
Unfortunately, the limitations of your towers, like the physical objects of a thing, have to be attached to the tower itself. However, like
Right, so I would have to attach each coin. Oh
yeah,
my
you
God.
can do like hoard attachments, so they obviously will be more expensive, but not as expensive as attaching every single item. As items that have a very similar structure to each other, you can kind of compile together. Because if you think about it, a chair is made out of multiple parts, but you just attach the chair, and so a pile of emeralds would also just be one pile of emeralds. Yeah, so as long as it's still the same structure, like sand, for example, and coins have a similar structure, you can attach them as one bulk to your tower.
Oh boy. God, because we don't want to walk around with a giant chest that is jingling, right?
No, you wouldn't think so.
Okay, let me read quick here. Okay, down. 1 hour, okay.
500 gold worth of emeralds and 1,500 platinum. That's what it was.
Ooh. How much? How many emeralds?
500 gold worth of emeralds.
Okay, you might be able to put that in your bag. Or, I guess, how heavy would it be? Okay, well, I can try. So if I did the chest, and then I did the money in the chest, would that be two separate attunements then? So
Yes.
2 hours, and I assume 200 gold.
Yup.
All right. Um, are we okay with spending some money to attune it to the tower then? It's not free because it takes time and some resources to attune things to my tower. It's 200 gold and we have 1500 platinum. I feel like that's probably okay.
Oh yeah, no, that's fine.
And then I could summon it whenever we need. So
If it's going to allow us to keep the rest of it safe,
Uh, let me understand this correctly. So you're basically gonna pay you're gonna take this money to like make it so that the chest is physically inside the tower. So whenever you summon the tower, the chest is gonna be in there.
oh no, Discord. Hang on, happening again.
It might be my internet. I have been having internet problems for the past
Nope, you fine.
48 hours.
you're fine to me.
Yeah, you're
You
fine.
all sound like robots to
I
me.
might just reconnect.
Oh, what is happening? Greg, what is happening?
I don't know.
Oh, maybe
Everybody sounds fine.
Yeah,
It went to 5,000
ping.
ping. Yeah, but I think we're good.
And Skit, everything good on your end?
Well, you're no more pixelated and everybody has a normal voice. So
Okay,
we're good.
we're good.
Okay, weird coincidence.
Uh, so essentially, me and my master Sherry, she's the one who kind of helped me with arcane, learning it, understanding it. She helped me make the spell. I can essentially, I have this tower. I have separate rooms. I can attune items to that room. It has to stay in that room. I can't take items out of it once I summon the tower. But once I do, it's just there, and I could probably unattune it with like a dispel magic. So. And then it's stored in my spellbook essentially.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, if it's going to allow us to keep the majority of this money,
Yeah, it just takes a little bit of resources because I essentially had to put an arcane seal. That's kind of my own signature. So
In the grand scheme of things, considering the money that we found, 200 gold is a small fee to pay to bring everything else back.
yep.
okay, then if you handle the emeralds, I'll handle the chest and the coins.
Yeah, well, I just for my own sake, I'm gonna try to shove like as much gold as I can like into my own body and whatever. I want to carry some money on me. I don't want it all just going in the.
Yes. There's like 500 pounds limit to your bag of holding, right?
Yes.
You know, I don't want to do the math in my head. So I would just say you can at least take half, so 750 platinum. You can put it in your bag of holding with the 500 gold worth of emeralds. I would say the other half you'll have to keep in the chest.
I'll only take 200 of the platinum.
Okay.
The rest I'll put in the chest.
Fair enough.
Okay, I'll take my time, and then for the course of 2 hours, It's essentially me just using platinum and then using magic to like liquefy it, and then putting my own like arcane signature on the item I'm attuning to the tower. And then I'm just at my spellbooks in front of me. I'm on like a specific page where I put the coins, and then they melt in this like arcane sigil, and then I'm like dipping like my finger in there, and then just starting writing it. It's almost like a paint project.
So we had 1500 platinum. and 500 gold
But
in that.
Yeah, of
500. Okay, 500 gold worth of.
Yeah.
emeralds. I'm putting it in the group money pouch just so that we have
Sure.
have it written.
Oh, we
out.
have that thing, yeah.
oh yeah, you still have
We-
that.
Yeah.
We do have that thing, so I put it in there. I'll say
Sure.
in a chest. in the-
Yeah, I do have a
tower.
tower sheet.
There.
I think what I'll do is make a new room that's just the the horde room, I guess.
The safe.
The safe. Yeah, safe. I'll just do a safe. So I'll put safe room. And then that's where I'll tune the chest and the coins. Oh, and I'll show you both how to open and close the chest. Because there is a certain method you have to use, so we don't have to use a Arya every time. Or Eric, no, didn't you open this? Or was it Arya?
Yeah, it was Aria.
Oh,
Yeah,
wait,
I kind of just stood there and was like, yeah, it's a lock.
Yeah. Lock.
It's my chest. Please open it for me. Thank you.
Give me
Gotcha.
money. You okay? Yeah.
Okey-dokes.
So after the 2 hours are over, you have successfully attuned both the chest and contents inside of the Tower of Weird, becoming a bit more weirder then. Yeah, and halfway as you kind of done with your first one, Bashina's already finished her mural quote unquote study, aka copy, and the rest of the 1 hour she's just kind of going through her notes again and just kind of looking at things, occasionally walking around, looking around, just double checking if she might have, or if you guys might have missed something, and you didn't.
Are there any like jugs or jars or containers lying around?
Yeah, there were a couple.
Yeah, I'll just go and grab one. I'm gonna go over to the excuse me, to the pool of water.
Mm.
I'm gonna scoop a bunch of that water up and keep it in the jug.
Okay. Then you can add that to your inventory. A
Magic pool water.
jug full of magica water.
How many days travel was it back? Was it 2 days here? Day and a half?
Yeah, I think it was either 2.5 days or it was 1.5 days.
So we have to stay outside this once.
Yeah.
I guess before we travel, I'll ask if we can just take a quick rest so I can try to find time to do my, what's it called? Arcane recovery.
Yeah, she kind of says, yeah, I'm also questioning whether or not we should start going out now, because it's already quite late. But 5 p.m. currently.
It is late.
I mean, we would probably make the first track where we get to the hills again, and then we would be able to arrive tomorrow evening back at the Sephir's Archive. So the question is, do we want to be careful and slow, or fast and dangerous?
Careful, personally.
Well, we also have to take into consideration the longer we stay out here, the higher the risk is as well. So it kind of balances itself out.
And what's our high storm schedule?
I think the last time was exactly a month ago. So we are now.
We should be able to get back.
Yeah, we are getting to dangerous territory. Like after 10 days, it is yeah, anyone's game.
I guess I'd look at Azrael. We do need to examine the moon one of these nights. It would be nice to do it in a safe location. Or maybe even a high up location.
Indeed.
Would that be... If we're headed to the hills, that might be a little bit easier than inside this cave.
Is your tower high storm safe? If it was to fall on our head overnight?
It depends on the material I use to make it. I look at like the petrified wood around us. Can I tell if this would withstand a high storm?
You would think. You have greater, what's it called, safety inside of these woods, since a lot of the high storm is braced by the big trees. So it's kind
Right,
of
and the trees can withstand it.
yeah. So it's kind of risky. You have to also take in consideration these trees are dense. Your tower is hollow. That's the main difference. So
Yes.
you are about 60 to 70% sure that your tower would survive inside of these woods. Outside of the woods, no shot. Your shit would just fly away like a plastic tube.
Yeah. It's not really, connected to the ground.
Yeah, it's a
It's
reason.
like a toilet paper roll.
Yeah,
Yeah.
being blown over. A reason why specifically light crystallises are used to specially terraform and create these structures. Otherwise, every mage could be able to create their own structures, but they aren't able to.
Okay, my vote's to go now.
Mine as well.
I think waiting too much is risking it too much, and we can still assess as we get closer to break out of the forest if we need to stay back for the night, if we feel like the high storm could be coming up on us.
Yes, we also have to take into consideration the longer we stay outside, the greater the demons are. So this
Yes, also.
specifically why I'm more in favor of the fast outs. Since we are already 10 days in without a high storm, who knows what kind of demons have already managed to develop. Especially these woods are notorious for up to D-class demons, even after 8 to 5 days.
Yeah, and well, we know where this place is now. So if we wanted to, we can come back.
Exactly. So, yeah.
If I look up through the hole, can I look at the sky and assess? Does it look like a high storm is coming, like with the clouds and everything, or if it just looks like a regular day?
It looks like a regular day. It's a bit cloudy. High storms, like I said, there's no consistent way to measure when it will appear. It's really luck based, and you know when if it will happen this day, and it will then have like it's so huge and so violent,
Yeah.
and also so fast that once you notice that it's there, you got maybe like 8 hours max to try and get cover before it's.
But it doesn't look like it's coming up on us like as we speak.
Yeah,
it
no.
looks like
Yeah,
a
exactly.
normal day right now.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I think heading out as quickly as possible is going to be our best chance.
Okay, so I would say let's get moving then.
I'm just gonna click my boots together, and I'm gonna run and roll on my Heelys for the first time in front of people.
Okay, make an acrobatics check. 13. No, it's okay. You know, the floor here is not made for wheelies, but you choose a smooth part of the floor and it kind of just scoot like maybe 2-3 meters. And Ashina just looks at you like, and
That's our engineer.
Hey,
I mean,
come on now.
Cool one.
I mean, I bet the kids would love it.
I love it.
Okay, let's get going. And it walks out. And I presume you guys.
Every flat patch of ground that we come by, I'm just gonna wheel next to her. The entire way. Just wheel by.
Yeah, and she has.
Back the other direction.
Yeah, and her reaction is like a mom who just bought her son a new pair of wheelies, which is not give it any attention at all. It's like, nope, it's a phase. It will pass.
Vashina, look at me. Look at me. Look what I can do.
How long do we expect to be walking for?
This day, probably until sunset, unless you decide to go in the evening. So well, around that's maybe like
3 hours ish.
Yeah.
Like the time that would take me for a wild shape, maybe.
Yes, actually, it would get dark at 8 when the sun starts setting, and it is currently 5, so that is 3.
In that case, right before I wild shape, I'll say, well, if anyone doesn't feel like walking, feel free to hop on and I'll turn into an elk.
Nope. I'm good.
Vashina is like, I won't say no. And then she kind of hops on.
Jeez, I'm the
I
slowest.
just grab onto the elk's tail. I'll just wheel behind the elk as we go.
Oh my god. Okay, make a dexterity saving throw.
A saving throw?
Yes, as the thing starts galloping. Bang!
Ow.
Yeah, there are multiple stones and other branches, roots, and uneven terrain that you have to dodge and save yourself. But you probably have to like walk a bit and then go back onto your wheels. But yeah, you successfully do it for the most part, and for the longest time of the next 3 hours of your journey, while Fiera is being left behind.
Yeah. I will give myself gift of alacrity to try to keep up.
You just start power walking.
Yep.
That's gift of alacrity for Fiera. Okay, so first of all, as you start your journey, you can roll me a D100, anyone. Of course, you're using Aria's token to see, because she's the one not here.
I'll do the D100.
That is a 45, and someone roll me a D20.
I'll do that one.
Okay, great. So you travel, and one of you guys has to make, because this is like a minor skill challenge to try and get back to these efficacious archives, so you need at least 2 successes of any skills you want to use, specifically skills, and you just tell me which one you want to use. So you have to try and convince me why this is going to help you reach your destination.
Ooh,
I, as an elk, would use my vantage point and kind of ease in the woods to try to guide my friends through like the easier parts to walk through and trying to trying to avoid like bigger entanglements or like dips or stuff like that a beast that is used to being in the woods would know.
Yeah, you can. Yeah, you have to tell me which skill you want to use.
So, I guess I would use survival. I think would be appropriate in this, like either survival or nature would be appropriate in this instance.
Okay. Yeah, then let's use survival, and I will give you advantage
All
because Vashina is kind of giving you the help action since she's on your back.
Okay. Survival. Okay, I'll use mine because it's the same as the elk, so I can do advantage. Oops.
Very nice. That is a 20. So, which also explains why Eirik is able to use his wheelies so consistently and so precisely, because you choose the smoothest path to walk. And after walking, you know, after maybe like a half an hour, you reach that hilly part once again and start kind of trekking up. But you once again look for kind of a stair climb so that you can use comfortably without having to actually climb as much and just hike up these hills. There are some areas that are a bit steeper, but you avoid them for the most part. Some rocky terrains that seem a bit unstable, you notice them and also communicate it to the group, so are also able to avoid that. Now after 3 hours, you successfully reach kind of the somewhat somewhat
I'm not the only one.
apex of these kind of hilly areas, since I presume you are aiming to try and get to a high point. Okay, Skid is looking at me like a weirdo. I guess my voice is sounding crazy.
Oh, jeez.
I will wait a bit to maybe hopefully it will go back to normal. She's
Normal.
laughing. Okay, is it for you both at the same time? Am I back?
I'm fine.
Yeah, it's fine over here.
Skid? Oh my god. Okay. I mean, at least she's enjoying herself, you know? Good for her. I will use this moment to take a quick sip. Wait. Well, we can take a break in a minute once you get to.
So keep check.
So, am I back?
It looks like it's coming back.
Okay. So,
Yes, it's back. Yep.
yeah, basically you reach. I'm presuming you're trying to find like a high spot on these hills, since you discussed it with Fiera to kind of put the tower there. And that you successfully do. So after kind of a 3-hour trek and hike, you do manage to find a clear opening, which is also important, where you could let Fiera summon this tower.
On the way there, could I do something?
Sure,
While we're
of
hiking
course.
through the woods.
Yeah.
Can I look for a tree that I could easily get wood from? Either like a small tree or a tree that's like, well, there's already a part coming off, so I can more easily cut and take it off the side.
Yeah, of course you can try that. Make a survival check to see if you find any appropriate meats. Oh,
I never look at trees, that makes sense.
yeah. 17!
Okay.
Yeah! On these gargantuan several on greatwood trees, there are many portions where the high storm has kind of chipped away at them. So these large pieces of bark at some portions of where the storm hit it have kind of peeled off a bit. Kind of the scars of these trees, and you can find a few that are on kind of your level, so that you don't have to climb up this, 100-feet tall tree. And just go there and then take your 2 hands and then crack off a large portion of wood from these trees, if you wish to do so.
Yeah, actually, I'll ask Eric over. I'll do it in his head and cast the message cantrip. Eric.
No.
This is the voice of the forest.
No, it's not. Shut up.
No, it isn't. Kick him over here, quick. You see me just looking at a tree.
Wheels.
Such a smart man you are. So innovative. This is my best attempt at a compliment. So, I'm thinking about a project. What do you think about this wood? I'm gonna show it to you.
Yeah, I mean,
What's the first thought? What would you do with it?
I mean, there's a lot of things.
What's the first thing you would do if you were in a workshop right now?
Oh, I mean, first thing, I'd probably just clean it up a little bit, take some of the bark off, and get rid of the wood chips and dust, and make it nice and, workable. Because right now it's just a piece of chunky, gross wood. You gotta clean it first. You gotta make the material workable first.
I give it to you. So you've worked with wood.
Well, I mean, yeah.
And will this fit in your bag?
No.
Oh god. I guess I can carry it. Okay, we'll talk later. I guess I put it under my arm and start carrying it.
It is quite heavy.
I need a workout.
A flash
So all this time you've been making Endel do the workouts, but really...
Oh, once we get back, he better... We'll see. Okay,
What do you... I mean, clearly you've got an idea.
Oh, of course. What do you think of when you imagine an archmage?
I have no idea. That's super magical.
You live in Azathia. There's literally a council of archwizards that
Yeah, do you not remember how I reacted the first time that we all met? Being in a room full of really fancy magical people?
See? That's the impression I want to give off. Fancy, magical. Look, eventually we're gonna meet this count. Well, at least I will. You don't have to, but I want to meet them. And when they meet me, I want to impress them with how I look, the confidence I have, the magic I possess. And I think any great caster has a great weapon. Not a sword, not a spear, but something that they fuel their magic through and is an extension of themselves.
Oh, well, yeah, I mean, I...
Exactly. But bigger.
Absolutely understand that.
Bigger than that.
I mean, you're having trouble carrying that.
Yeah. But that's where you come in. I want you to help me make it.
Okay. I mean, I'm down. Obviously, I've made some pretty cool things, and I just roll my wheel up in the air.
Please, don't put wheels. They're cool.
Well,
I mean,
don't you should put wheels on. If you put wheels on the bottom of it, you wouldn't have to carry it. You could literally just walk with it.
God. Like an old person with a cane.
Oh, it's like when someone's walking with their like IV bag down the hallway of the hospital.
Yeah,
Just walk with
exactly.
that.
Sickly person. No, I'm sure there's magics out there that can make it lighter, but I do like some of your ideas, and I would like them implemented. So we'll talk.
Sure.
I just wanted to make sure you know how to work with wood in the first place.
Yeah, I mean it's the gateway material. It's the simplest one to work with.
And is this enough for like a staff?
Well, I mean, how big is this? How long of a piece of wood did she grab?
It's about like a meter long, maybe like 50 centimeters wide.
Oh God, I'm an American.
That's about 5? No, 4, 3.
A
No,
meter
3.
is like 3 feet.
Yeah, 3 feet. And
Okay.
1.5 feet wide.
Oh, so
One-
there's plenty to work with. You're good.
1 meter is 39.5 inches.
So 3 feet 3 inches.
Yeah, I mean, there's plenty here to do quite a bit, frankly. It obviously takes time and space and
There's absolutely no rush.
well, I know. I'm just saying, like, yeah, I mean, this goes back to what I said the other day with your tower. Like, it would be cool if I had a place to work inside that tower.
We can talk. But like I showed you before, there's just a cost to two things to the tower.
No,
But anything can be. Like if you want a workbench, we can throw that in there. I don't know what else do you use, but small tools and stuff, sure.
I mean, most of my sort of small, easy access tools are in my bag. Like, that's no big deal. But if we really want to get to the nitty gritty of working on some big things, which we are seemingly going to be needing,
Exactly.
it's going to
And
be worth it to kind of maybe build up a little place that we can do that in.
right. Exactly. Especially on the road, since we're traveling.
Exactly.
But yeah, and also with the staff, it could help me control a little bit more, I would assume.
Oh, yeah.
So
Yeah. That would be helpful.
yeah. Okay. Well, we'll talk.
Great.
All right,
And we
yes,
just
yeah.
like start walking in the same direction again, like all awkward and
I'm just doing it like half your speed as we roll along.
wheels.
Okay, wheels would be nice. I would probably roll down this hill.
Yep. Definitely good.
Yep.
Yeah.
We have an elk. I cast message to Izarel, who's up the hill. Can you carry this for me, please? As I'm like sweating, almost like on one knee, holding a big piece of wood. Please turn back for.
I'll turn back. Because, I mean, oh, right, we don't have Arya anymore, so we don't have the mind link anymore.
No, just message cantrip.
Alright, so I'll just start walking back.
I get like a rope and. Do you mind carrying this?
I'll bend down, like, put, like, my woods, like, in front of you.
I will try to situate it as best as I can.
Onto the antlers.
Like a roof rack on a car.
Yeah, let's just roll a sleight of hand from Fiera to see
Oh
if she
boy.
can place it.
Come on. This is the most important role right now. I'll use all the magic I have to. Ooh!
Wow.
Yeah, what would I do? I see it slipping, and then I will use, just out of reaction. I know I'm supposed to be careful, but I will use, God, I forgot what it's called. It's been a while.
Chrono shift.
Chrono shift to try to slow down time around the object so I can move, get to a better spot, and push it back up so I can reroll again.
Okay, let's go.
Spending time around wood.
My
good lord.
That is what you deserve.
I do.
You know,
I totally do.
I think as you're doing that, you feel like a sense of judgment, and something is
Yep.
deliberately making it so that you aren't able to put the piece of wood on there.
I hold it and just look up at the sky. This is my penance.
Are there any crows
It's
flying
fine.
around?
A couple.
I just be like, I see you.
I'll carry it, Heuser.
I'll
Thanks.
drop down.
Oh, it's fine. And I'll
I'll
start
drop
walking.
down and kind of motion
Vashina.
Vashina to like kind of get off and present my neck.
She's like, I mean, I've got a bit of rope. We can just tie it around her back.
Just kind of nod.
Okay, gets off. And you know, I will also make a roll a sleight of hand check.
I'll help if I can.
Okay.
I can't.
Oh,
I don't know, actually. Maybe somebody else should help.
I can't do anything but stay still.
well, that's technically helping. So
Then I'll help.
let's give her advantage with this roll. Let's roll.
On wizard, sleight of hand.
A 16. Really good. And I forgot to put off the noises from D&D Beyond dice again.
Nice.
Each time. That's how it sounds like. You don't get, you guys don't hear it, luckily. Yeah, she manages to kind of whip up a pretty good knot around the elk, kind of also tying it around the neck a bit so it doesn't like fall back and also stays in place. Seems like she has done this many times before, but probably not on an elk, but on a horse or something similar. Yes. Right, let's go. Guess I have to walk now to...
I'll back up and start walking up the hill.
Yep. And eventually you get to the top of the hill where you find a nice open space for you to rest. That is also where we're gonna take our break. It's almost been 2.5 hours. So we're gonna be back in a second. Bye. And we're back. And as we're back, as you have this nice space, what would you like to do? On top of this fresh hill, bit of rock. Still smaller trees have grown on this rock, but not as many. You can see a bit over the larger landscapes of the Southern Great Woods with the huge twisting trunks and twigs of these gargantuan trees. The wind air is getting a bit cooler as you're approaching that time. You do have a very clear view of the Astro Vestige as it's coming back into operation as the sun is clearly setting, the sky colors turning from a bright blue into a deep purple.
I guess. Am I summoning the tower, I assume? We can just put the lights out.
Yeah. Sounds good.
Okay, I don't know. Let me check my rooms here. I might be able to change rooms a little bit. We want the observatory. Picking out my study, maybe. Oh, how about a nice bath tonight? Any disagreements?
None at all. Sounds very good.
Okay, the observatory, the bath, and I'll do the lounge again. Lovely. Okay, I'll put down my book and begin my 10 minutes of constructing the Tower of Weird.
And so it does. You'll just kind of on the side after a while. I saw you turn back into your normal self as these 3 hours have passed. so tied to a block of wood. But you're much smaller than the elk form, so it kind of just stops onto the floor, but you still have a bit of rope attached to your body that you kind of have to unknot yourself of. And as the 10 minutes pass, the sky gets darker, and your view is then obstructed by the Tower of Weird as it kind of forms up as these stones clap together.
Lovely. Yeah, open door. Bottom floor, still the lounge. Cyril and Sheena, you can stay here again. So on the second floor, I'll bring you guys up. Climb the ladder. So this is the washroom. It is Litania's theme, so there's white like marble. Like it's not marble, no, because of the material of the marble. It's very clean and very proper, and there's like white accents. Everything's very well like designed, I guess. There is a toilet with a bidet, of course. There's also a marble bathtub, and there is a pipe along the bathtub that kind of goes up to the ceiling, which you can use because there is a sprayer. So you can also use the backside as a shower. And I just show you because there's like a pipe, there's like a knob that does like hot water, and the other knob does cold water. Then the other half of the room is actually a sauna. There are wooden benches on the wall and a magical brazier in the middle that has a constant stream of steam coming out of it, with a lever to adjust how much you want, or if you don't want any, you can turn it off. And then there's also privacy screens that are on railings that you can move if you want to. So enjoy yourself, bath, shower, sauna if you want. Toilets there is functional. It'll just eject out of the tower. So.
Where do I sleep?
I mean, you can take the observatory, and I'll climb the ladder to the third floor where you stayed before.
Wonderful. And I'll start putting my stuff down there.
Okay. Sheena kind of returns to the lobby and makes herself comfortable there.
I'm just genuinely curious what a medieval bidet would be like.
I think it's like one of those French ones. Have you ever seen those? Which is separated from the toilet.
Yeah.
And I got no idea how the fuck that works. It's just water coming down from...
Water sprays you.
Yeah, but like...
Well, so I do have I can do like minor enchantments, so I assume there's just like a spray thing that has like a cantrip that like sprays water basically.
Yeah. Exactly.
Water spray.
Oh,
Yeah.
Water spray. Water
Control
spray.
water.
Yeah, exactly.
Yep.
There you go.
Amazing.
What is it, like create and control water?
Yeah,
Yeah.
just like that.
Just-
At a very minor level.
Yep. Yeah, that's how you can imagine it. It's just kind of some magical wounds attached to a metal rod.
Yep.
Okay, where does Eric go? What do you do to make yourself comfortable?
Just back down to the lounge and I guess boots off. Just unclip all my bags and stuff and just sit down and just like feet up, hands behind my head and just relax.
Okay.
Unless people come and get me for something, I'm not really doing much.
Yeah, that's nice.
Then Isoel, anything special you do?
Once I see that like everyone's getting situated, I'll ask Fiera. So, what about we look at that moon and try to make sense of it?
Sounds great. Yeah, I'll start moving it along the rails and try to find the best window with the best angle and, start adjusting the dials for its magnification.
Yeah. So you just want to look at the moon, I guess?
I guess, can we still see the astral visage?
Yeah. I think it takes like only 10 minutes to structure the tower, so...
Yeah.
So
How about we hit both?
We could probably look at the vestige first, and the moon's gonna be there all night, so
Yeah. Let's do that.
yep.
Okay. Y'all peer through the telescope to make perception checks. So you look at the astral vestige. 825. Pretty damn good with a natural 19. Both rolled a natural 19.
It's the telescope.
Impressive, impressive. They really want to look at this astral vestige. It is still kind of gaining opacity since, sunset is still going on, but it's kind of getting to the point where it's free formed. And once again, to remind the people what it looks like, it's this weird, almost like water orb, and water in the sense that it refracts light very weirdly, and it almost looks like it emits a bit of light. But if you look at the surrounding things, it doesn't look like anything is being lit by it. It's almost like self-luminescent, but nothing else gets or interacts with the light that's being casted by it. And it changes like color from depending which angle you're looking at it at. And as you look through the telescope, the very first thing you notice is, and you would know this is very common knowledge, is that the distance of the thing that you would expect looking through a telescope will make it, closer or bigger, but it looks exactly the same when looking through the telescope or if you look with your naked eye. So it doesn't matter where you are, where you're standing, or through which means of zoom or zoom out, it always for some reason has the same size. The people that people have tried to fly towards it, but it never got bigger. Kind of deal.
Does it look, to my knowledge, does it look dimmer than what I remember it looking like?
It doesn't. You don't sense anything that it's gotten dimmer or anything. It's still the same as it's always been. Kind of gaining opacity, losing opacity at sunset and dawn. Yeah, so you get a pretty damn good view on it. You can see that maybe as you're shifting your eyes around, you can also see that it kind of shifts its colors around. Other than that, it's just a big old orb.
Blob in the sky.
Blob in the sky, just chilling there. And for you, Fiera, you would see the same. You probably would have done this like multiple times, so this doesn't come to a big surprise. And after a while, as you're looking at this, and maybe maybe it will change after the time of day, but the only thing that happens is it's kind of losing opacity, and you begin to see the stars that illuminate even through the silver stage as it slowly but surely disappears. One of the greatest mysteries is, since you can't really gauge how big it is, you can't also not gauge how far it is. It could literally be right in front of your face, and you wouldn't be able to tell, since its size doesn't change. That's how weird it is.
Well, another mystery for the books. Well, let's find that moon. I'll start adjusting it.
Okay, yeah. Take a look for the moon. Okay, and yeah, it is clear in the sky, or at least you can see a few clouds that have kind of gathered on the kind of western side, but the eastern side seems to have cleared up a bit, and so you have a quite a good view on the moon. Still it's kind of close to the horizon as it's slowly making its way to its apex, and it's not full. It's kind of like a 3/4 you can see of the moon, and yeah, kind of brightly lit, sitting there. And if you want to look at it through a telescope, you all can make a perception check.
Yeah.
Okay. Not as interested at the moon. You look at it. One thing that you do notice is it's, like, compared to our moon, very, very smooth. Like, there aren't a lot of craters on the moon itself. You know, our moon has, like, you know, big craters and stuff like that. This one is, like, way smoother. There are, like, a few, you know, abstract things. It does seem to have, like, some sort of landscape on it, but no big marks whatsoever. It's like almost like a clean white sphere of pure moonstone. That's how you can call it. Yeah, and you look at it. Looks beautiful. Looks nice. And that's about all you can discern from just looking at it.
Does it seem dimmer than the last time I took the time to look at it this intently?
You can make a history check. It's a 10.
It was so close to the 15. It was so close to the 50.
Yeah, I mean, there are like a lot of things that can influence the brightness of the moon. So it's like, you know, it might seem dimmer, but could just be because it's in, you know, this current state and not as much sunlight is hitting it. So really, really hard to tell. And if it would have been so minuscule. But yeah, you don't think it has lost any significant light as far as you can tell.
Alright, I'll still kind of keep a mental note of when I check the moon. Kind of keep a good reference of when I do, like, observe the dimming of it.
Yeah, just gonna click that into your brain. Can you do that?
Is there any sign of an eclipse starting?
Of the moon, like a moon eclipse?
Yeah.
Like from your viewpoint? Oh,
Yeah,
you can
yeah,
also look
like
at-
if you look at it, does any part look like it's starting to like show a shadow on the moon?
Oh yeah, sure, you can. Yeah, okay, yeah, you're looking at it. It's, you know, it's kind of a bit obscured, but in a very natural way, like you've seen thousands of times. It doesn't look like there's any other astral body that is close by that could obscure it, nor do you know of any astral body that could be in front of the moon to eclipse the moon. So yeah, it just looks like a freeform moon.
Okay.
I'm wondering. I don't know. I might be going out of. I might be going into the left field here.
We're pretty
Would-
far out there already.
Yeah, I know. I don't know if it's even possible. Could the eclipse be caused by the astral vestige passing in front of the moon, or the moon passing behind the vestige? I know they don't usually intersect, but for some out of the ordinary, extraordinary circumstances, could that cause an eclipse? Because I don't see what else could.
I'm guessing I've never even heard of something like that happening.
Yeah, so even technically, like time-wise, it wouldn't be able to work.
Yeah.
Because they're
Yeah.
at different times. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and like there are some times when it's like when it's still bright and the moon is out. Like so theoretically, in these kind of times, you could create quote unquote such an eclipse. However, since the astral vestige never turns, like for some people it would send eclipse the moon, but for other people it would. So
Yeah.
it's like, you know, very subjective eclipsing is what I'm saying. But
That's what I thought, but it was just a theory. It was throwing out in the air, trying to make sense of this, because
See, let me look at it again.
what other giant orb in the sky could cause the moon to eclipse?
Or start to bleed.
Yeah.
Because he said the moon starts to bleed, the crimson lunar eclipse.
And it's a
Well,
lunar eclipse, so it's not the moon passing in front of the sun.
ooh, it might just be a waiting game. We might not know until it happens because it just doesn't happen.
And that is if it happens as we live.
Yeah.
It could be hundreds of years from now, like it could be tomorrow, for all we know.
That's very true. Well, I guess we'll keep taking a peek when we can.
so in this forest with the open sky, you also have a very beautiful and nice clear view of the night sky. And you can see the various stars that align the big open vacuous space that is literally space. And you both would, you know, kind of recognize a few constellations here and there as they kind of spread around this huge galaxy.
Knowing as the herald that I worship is the herald of the moon, I would probably feel a sense of peace and calm and like feel like I'm kind of resourcing myself, kind of, and maybe share a little bit that sentiment with Kiera, and probably once again ramble a little bit about my experience with the oh god, my brain stopped functioning, with my mentor when I learned about Servilon, and probably tell you the story of Servilon for like the 1000th time in the past 2 weeks.
Yeah, I try to understand it, but it seems very foreign to me, being human. Religion is.
One thing that you would actually probably have a common ground on, since you're a bit knowledgeable of astronomy specifically, I swear you are dedicated to one herald and one of the daughters, and one of them is Zul Moltar, daughter of dreams, and
Yeah.
you would recognize that name, Fiera, actually, because that name is in one of the maps that you have, because it's also the name of one of the star constellations in the sky.
Oh, interesting.
And then while talking, you would figure out that many of the daughters of the Night Weaver, how they refer to, are named after, or this many star constellations are named after daughters of the Night Weaver.
Oh. I mean, yeah, must feel nice to be named after stars. Do you know if any of them are still robots?
God dang it. Oh my
Maybe
god.
robots in the sky.
Like robots in the sky.
Robots in the sky.
Guess we're gonna zoom back to the inside of the tower with Eirik and Vashina. Vashina would have in this time taken a bath, cleaning herself up a bit, also using the toilet, and then kind of also returning to the chamber, also taking one of the couches that Eirik isn't occupying, and then kind of sit down there, taking out, all her notes that he took to, there, and then also proceeds to kind of make a tea, and just asks, you want a cup too?
Yes, I would love one.
Oh, okay. And also pours you a cup of tea, as she then kind of siphons through her notes. So, how you been feeling?
I mean, I think you know the answer to that.
I mean, relative to the other days where you felt pretty cahoots in the head.
Yeah, I mean, any day where I'm not being mind controlled or played with mentally is far superior. So, yeah, I mean, fine, I guess. Still incredibly out of my element, and I don't know really what is going on here, even though people keep trying to explain it.
Yeah. Explaining is an art in itself, is what I've learned. Quite difficult. How are you going to let someone know about something if they don't have the same knowledge that you have? Thing I've been trying to get better at as a professor, and every time I think I found out the secret source to explaining something, a new student appears and they have no idea what I'm talking about.
Yeah, well, that's how I feel right now. I just have no idea what anyone's talking about with all the magic and politics and religion and I mean, I've said this enough times, like everything that I know is basically just like what's in front of me. And everything that everyone's talking about is stuff that happened so long ago or so far away that is most definitely not right in front of me. So it's super hard to follow.
I mean, yeah, kind of not. Like everything that is in front of you is as old as time itself.
See, even just sentences like, oh,
Okay.
hey, even just sentences like that just throw me. I just don't know how to deal with that. There's just so much. I don't know. I just like I want to help, obviously.
Mm.
I feel like I've got things that can help.
Yes.
I just don't really see. I don't see my help being like actually beneficial right now, and it's just kind of like, yeah, it's kind of annoying.
Maybe you shouldn't put your focus on the things that are in front of you, but more maybe think about the things that are inside of you. No? A bit of introspection goes the wrong way, so much things are happening around you, you have no control over them, but you still are inside of your own body. And
Yeah.
you can work with that.
Yeah, I guess. Even that seems like a bit difficult, but
have you, as you were a child, ever, I don't know, had like big dreams?
Not big dreams, not really. I mean, it's kind of what everybody wants is, success and success and money and I don't know, some element of power, but nothing ever, I wasn't like dreaming of being like the best inventor in the world or anything like that. I didn't have my parents went around a lot. So like I didn't have like constant reassurance from them. I was just kind of always working and I was always working for someone else, so there was never anything really for me to do on my own. I just always had a task to do or a schedule to meet or a project to finish. It was just one thing after the other, one thing after the other.
Yes, but I feel like with inventors, I don't know many, but the few I do know is, I think your minds are the, well, I don't want to say biggest, but the one thing that drives inventors is that they constantly have new ideas, and usually they tend to get bigger and bigger. And you're telling me you didn't have a point in your life where you thought that you would create something extraordinary that you just wanted to build, not for anyone else but for yourself, where you were like, I don't know, something that will take me to the stars or something like that.
I never really thought that big, but most recently the biggest thing, back in Suna and Nier before we came out here, we were flown around the city on eagles, and I thought, that's a cool way to travel. Like, wouldn't it be cool to have something that actually just flew you around? And that wasn't an animal you had to go find and like pay for or whatever. So, yeah, there's things that I want to do. I don't remember how much we told you, but the workshop that I used to have is not my workshop anymore. After I did my whole like deal with the devil thing and told Calyx I wanted to not be me, I guess, anymore. He wiped me off the map and nobody knows who I am again anymore, and yeah, my workshop's gone.
But the ideas are inside of your head and not in the workshop.
Well, no, I know that, but it's just I have nowhere to do all that. That's why I told Fiera that if we could do something in here and have a place to actually work, that would be interesting, because I don't see us staying in like a city for very long anymore. Like nowhere near long enough for me to like sit down and actually like come up with things and do things. And so really these wheels are the best I can really do on the fly right now.
I feel like you underestimate yourself a little bit. I think, like, as soon as you get the workshop inside of Fiera's house, you'll be just fine. Be able to work while you're traveling. And I am being distracted by Skit. It's the reason why I brought it up, like, you want to create a machine that you can use to fly around the city, right? And
that's, yeah, at its base, yeah, it would just be something fun to do. There's no real purpose to it.
Well, do you have any ideas how you would try and achieve this goal?
Well, find the right materials, research what different, vehicles would look like. You know, figure out the motions of whatever wings need to occur, and there's a lot of planning and research that has to go into it. But again, it's just the fact that I have nowhere to do any of that is just kind of.
Yeah, but what I'm trying to say is that you see, you had a structure just then, right? You had a plan of operations, right?
Yeah.
So why can you do it with a vehicle that can fly in the sky and transport people, but not with the very problem that you have right now? It's the same thing. You just need to build different components that aren't wings or a body. They just look different, but it's still the same process.
Yeah, I see what you're saying.
What I'm saying is, you have a very keen mind on connecting things together. That's what makes you an engineer without a top hat.
Ah.
So I think it's just the way you look at things. I think you see these current problems literally just as problems. When I mentioned this flying machine, you do not see this as a problem. You see this as an opportunity to create something new. How about you look at your problems, not as problems, but maybe as an opportunity to create something?
Yeah. Yeah, like I get it. It just the prospect of like death and horror and destruction and everything that's been going on kind of overshadows my sort of ability to just do things. It's like I don't.
Yeah, because you think too much about them. You are thinking them as big, existential ending things. I mean, you could die while testing your flying thing. You could fly up thousands of feet and then just drop. I don't think you considered that.
Of course I have.
Well, does it stop you from trying?
I mean, technically no, I haven't done it yet, so I don't know.
See, and you haven't started a war yet. You haven't brought calamity to this land. I know, it is hard to put these two things together. One is life ending for many people, and one is just you flying on a mechanical thing. But if you strip away all of the bits, it's still, at the end of the day, the same thinking method. I think you panic too much because you don't see any patterns that you're used to. That's how most people react if they're confronted with something uncomfortable. It is uncomfortable because it is unrecognizable. I'm trying to show you that it isn't as unrecognizable as you think it is. I think you have a bit of a tendency to over-exaggerate things inside of your own head, which can be a good thing, but in your case, it is a bit of a bad thing.
Yeah, I don't know how to not over-exaggerate, our friend.
Well, you remember what I suggested to you when we went to the ruins, that you focus on a single project and take inspiration out of nature, where task you to come up with an idea that you could create?
Of course.
Well, then let's see the fruits of your homework.
Well, I don't really have like a full, thought out idea, but what came to mind was, again, I guess I have this thing for flight apparently, because that's the next thing. It was the first thing that came to mind when you told me about it, or you gave me the plan.
Mm-hmm.
Where is that? I can't find it. Okay, so out of character, just so you have a sense of what I'm trying to talk about. Do you remember these toys as kids? You hold onto it and you pull the little string, and the toy would shoot up and spin and fly in the air.
Yeah, of course.
All right, so that's what I'm kind of looking at. So, like, I was thinking about having some sort of contraption where I don't know what the actual, I guess, for lack of a better word, ammunition would be, but something's connected to whatever this power source is. You've got this spring-loaded kind of flying device that you pull the string, the spring lets go, it shoots up into the air, and I don't know, it's something that can like fly across a battlefield, and I don't know if it would drop something on somebody or if it would disperse some magical energy, or maybe it what other things that I have in mind. Maybe it could shimmer and cause distraction at the very least, something to just sort of control a battlefield a bit more, because I feel like things get so out of control on us really quickly. So it would be nice to have something that could maybe stabilize something for a small period of time, so that we can get to cover, or look at our situation better. Just something that's going to cause a little bit more control over the battlefield. But it'd be nice to have something I can hold, I can pull on command, and it can shoot up and fly however long across our terrain.
That is quite amazing and impressive. I definitely wouldn't have thought about a spin mechanism to propel something in the sky. And what's more important is you provided very many alternatives of how you could use this tool. This is what I'm saying. You've got a mind. You have one problem, you have one possibility, and you can turn it into very many different things. Use it.
Yeah, but death is so scary.
Then don't think about it as death. Could be dumped. And technically, like, no one is pointing a sword at your neck. And I think maybe a better way is, since you've got so many contraptions and things, what is something that could prevent this danger? You feel threatened, right? You're talking about death. What could prevent it from happening? Like a shield. Why did people invent shields? Armor. Why did people build armor? Another way of thinking about it. I know you can do this. I think you just have to get used to it. Everything is inside of you. You just have to maybe accept not everything's great, but you have the potential to change that if you control your own mind first.
Yeah, that's hard. That's gonna be hard to do.
Never said it was easy. That's nothing in this world is. But that's what makes it worthwhile. You know what? I think you just should think about it. I know I said a lot. Maybe drink your tea. Made to calm your nerves a bit. And just ponder on the idea.
Yeah. See, the problem is I just want to, like, I would want to solve every problem all at once. Like, I think I'm like, oh, we could just, like, take care of Calyx. That would be cool. But then I just get, I stop myself because it's just thinking too far ahead and thinking too big. And anyway, we just went over all of that. You're just going to repeat everything you just said to me, so.
Yep. You know the solution. That is your whole thing.
I
Fiera.
feel like you know the solution.
I wish I knew. There's a reason why I didn't dabble in politics.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Probably the same reason that I tried to stay out of it as long as possible until I became it.
Yeah. Well, like I said, you'll find a solution. Sometimes even a false sense of confidence can go a long way.
Only words were as powerful as technology.
I mean, some words are. That's what magical incantations are.
Yeah, alright. See, you have an answer for everything. And I appreciate it. I do. I just don't know what to do with any of the answers you're giving me.
That's why I'm saying you should just take a rest, think about it over the next evening. Right? I think thinking is something you do a lot.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you don't, how do we call it, exaggerate your situation if you don't think about it. If you wouldn't think about it, I think you would be perfectly fine. Yeah, some people tend to do that. That's what I sometimes do. Like, if something also gets too much, I just tend to not think about it.
Yeah, I mean, I've said it before, it's hard for me to not think about something as big as... Yeah, anyway. By the way, I've been thinking about this quite a bit. I know we came out here as, like, your protectors or whatever, but you're basically the only reason we're all still alive.
I never said I was weak. Excuse
Well,
me.
no. No. I'm not implying that. I'm just saying you basically have killed every single thing that we've come across.
Yeah, like I said, you are the bodyguard, and apparently I was the artillery. So, you are keeping the things away so I could deal with them. So, I think that was just more coincidence. I think without your help, I definitely wouldn't be here right now. And I always like to bring new people out so they can see more of the world.
Right.
Okay, I shall now continue my own deep dive of thinking, and I hope you will do the same. She continues to delve into her notes.
I'll finish my tea and then I'll go up and bathe.
I will be taking a bath, and with that we will return back to the observatory. If there's, I think Isa and Fiera wanted to do something, but then Isa turned into a robot.
Oh, are you back, Skeet?
I'm good. I'm here.
Nice. I guess I was just gonna say, I do hope we get to find more out about your past and the Fae, where they come from, and hopefully meet some people from old, maybe the people who were named after the stars.
I think most of them are long dead or long gone. But hopefully one day you could meet my mentor. And I guess my biggest wish is to show you, Fiera, but also Eirik, what I've seen. What I've learned. I'm still learning. I'm still very much a beginner at everything.
Well, I think we all are.
But my hope my hope is that one day you can see what I'm striving for. Hopefully, one day I can show you what I mean. Although, of all of us, you're probably the one that is the closest to understanding what I mean when I say that the weave is dying. I know you work mostly with the shadow weave, which I hadn't seen before you. But I guess if I say, even if you don't necessarily believe it or don't see it, if I say the weave is dying, you understand what I'm talking about. When I say that to others,
Mm-hmm.
they look at me like, well, just weave it back and it's gonna be fine, you know? They don't understand.
It's hard to believe what you can't see or interact with. And I would say most people that use magic don't really, eh. From experience, think about the ramifications of their actions or how it may affect where you grasp your power from. Which, now you know, is a new priority of mine.
Well, it might be time to turn over to the weave instead of the shadow weave.
We'll see.
Yeah.
Well, I'm gonna go set an alarm
Great
since we
idea.
have one less person to keep an eye out.
I do not mind taking the first watch. And then I can probably wake either Eirik or Vashina and see from there what we do. But since I don't need much sleep, I can keep an eye out.
Sounds fair. Okay, well, I'll make my way outside. And I'll actually walk a ways from the tower so I can send a message without being heard.
Okay.
One question is, okay, so back at town, the day the demon attack happened at the castle, I met Cernan. So I feel like I was familiar enough for my sending to get to him. But he had a bodyguard with the mask. I believe I could tell that Arya and them talked. Am I familiar enough with that person to send them a message and know they have a good chance of receiving it?
Have you learned their name?
I don't think so.
You know what?
I only know what they look like, and I know their job. I know what skill set they have.
Yes. Yeah, you know what? I would say interaction was very brief.
I probably heard them talk a little bit, but not a lot.
Yeah, you know what? I will leave that up to a history check. See how much you can recall and kind of create them in your mind.
25.
25.
I relived the entire Demon Attack night.
Very nice. Yeah, you can definitely kind of like visualize, and specifically like the height, width of the shoulders and all of that stuff. Hair color, since usually the face is like the most important thing. Once you got the face, everything else is like easy peasy. And so you got a good grasp on who you're trying to send this to.
Okay, let's hope they have rough idea of who I am. I will send them a message then. Okay. I'm Dr. Fiera, the red-haired lady from Sunanir. I'm traveling with Izarel Leofina. I couldn't contact her father, Cernon. Can you tell me his condition?
Okay. You get a reply that says, unfortunately, it is not looking good. He is currently in critical condition in a hospital. A planned assassination was attempted on him. But I barely managed to stop it.
Boy, oh boy. Man, that hits on a lot of levels. My father was assassinated. My previous character's family was all killed. Oh boy. That makes okay. I tell her. An assassination, interesting. That's probably not a good time. Okay, I'll take the time to set up a magical alarm outside the front door that is audible. If anything other than our party walks through it.
Okay.
And then head back to observatory to snooze.
Okay. Try and sleep with that knowledge. You yeah, finish the alarm up easy enough, 10 minutes. You work there while Isabel will keep watch. And
As a reminder, did we have access to, like, quote unquote, the roof of the tower? Or
Yeah,
something?
there's a hatch so you could climb up
Okay.
there and like
Yeah.
sit on the roof.
So I would set up there to kind of look around and keep an eye out during my watch.
okay, yeah, I can definitely do that. I'll make a perception check from there.
Yep. I just love how that was almost a 20.
Oh.
I was gonna say I just love how it's just Fiera and I doing checks in the chat.
Oh yeah, it's back and forth.
Back and forth, back and forth.
Yep, that's how it goes. An 8. Maybe you're preoccupied looking more at the sky and the moon than you are on the surrounding, since you're placed so specially up there. But after 4 hours, sitting there, doesn't seem like anything happens. Or if anything did happen, you might have missed it. But 8 hours pass, and you can wake wherever you want.
I'll go down and wake Vashina up.
Yeah, she's probably also already awake, and she's also an elf, so she also only needs 4 hours. So she, when you fully recovered, you can really see that she's kind of got some of the notes about sees you approach. Yes. Guess it's my turn now.
If you don't mind, I think letting the humans sleep is better since we're both, you know, needing less sleep than them.
Yeah, totally understandable. Right, I shall.
Irix like spread eagle out on the couch.
They definitely need all the rest they can get. Okay. Then you also rest. I'll try and keep an eye out.
Thank you.
She will take the next leg of this. She wants to make a perception check. Connected. You guys are connected. But that's also an 8. No. She goes out, and after a while, you feel a nudge as you're being woken up by Vashina, as also the next 4 hours pass, and nothing seems to have happened during your 8-hour rest. So you all can take a long rest, successfully done.
Yay.
As another
Hey.
day passes.
Do. Look at spells. So we're heading back to the city, right? We should get there by tonight.
Yep, if you go.
But we have a day of travel. Ugh. Yuck.
Yeah, we're not like just around the corner from the city. Just like, oh look, we're here.
Combat stuff is probably good.
Don't want to rely on something string.
Yeah, like I just grabbed it because it was a Dutonic spell.
I mean, it's,
Geomancy, but...
it is good. It's just on that one moment it just wasn't that good.
Yeah. I mean, you have to see as they go prone. That's pretty cool.
Damn good. But I guess as you're looking at your spells, you can just presume that you're, collecting your stuff, getting ready, eat whatever breakfast you have, and so you can take 1 rations of your character sheet, actually 2 for yesterday as well. And you proceed the next leg of journey. Roll a D100 for me. Anyone?
I got marked down spells.
I'll do it. I got it.
And I remembered to put the Arcanist Aura on the bag and the scroll case.
Yep.
Because eventually it'll be permanent.
Okay, yeah, keep track of that. Okay, 84. So, for the next leg of this journey, once again, since this is the second part of the skill challenge of trying to get back to these Africa's archives, you already have 1 success from the first half day. So one of you guys have to give me the second success for you to successfully arrive back there and use whatever skill you think is going to help you achieve that goal.
I guess I could try something. Nature breath. I could think outside the box though, that's for sure.
Yep. Be encouraged.
Okay, I'm told to practice, or I guess understand my magic better, but not to stop using it. So What we're gonna do is I haven't used this in a long time. I'm gonna cast 'cause I can't do it. Yeah. I'll cast Borrowed Knowledge, second level divination spell, which lets me dip into the knowledge of other versions of me.
Oh my god.
And specifically, I'm gonna use it to gain the skill survival. I think would make the most sense. Yeah, I'll do survival. But as I dip into it, said I have to give something back. So while I'm grasping for the knowledge, I'm going to try to, I guess, mentally, as I have this connection, ask if I can help them in any way. Is there anything I can give you as I borrow this knowledge from you? Is there any knowledge I can give you that can help you right now? I try to create that link and express my desire to want to give.
Okay. Yeah. Make a sweet intelligence check. That is because in modifier.
Ooh, a 21. It's pretty
21.
good.
Pretty dang good. And you do feel something, which is, it feels like you're opening a door, but in a good way, which is you are trying to, you know, how do you get into a store? You go through the door and you take something and you leave something behind, which is cash in this analogy. So basically your prompt, which is asking this question, is kind of, if we are keeping the analogy straight, is you're basically not necessarily, like, the question doesn't get answered in any way, but instead this open doors allows for a different version of you in a different place to also access your mind now and take knowledge that they might not have. And you can feel a certain link, as exactly as you're doing this, you are getting, not, now you're not taking knowledge, now you're swapping knowledge, as part of you now becomes more attuned with your surroundings, nature, and how things work, while some of your more historical abilities are being transferred somewhere else. You aren't losing it, you're sharing it. That's the main difference. As you can feel this mental link. And it does now, for the first time, feel healthy. The other time, it was like kind of, you were forcing a door open to try and get something. You were actively, you know, quote unquote, stealing. You felt the pressure. Now it's like open door, the flow is there, and it's almost like you created a larger network or a stronger connection now as you then receive this knowledge.
Okay. Yeah, I try not to resist it. I try to just let it do its thing. And as this new knowledge of survival comes into me, I think I just take another look around and start actually recognizing like different prints on the ground, different like marks on a tree, and I will try to pick a safe path that's away from like any pricklies, not too dense, just easy traveling as we head back to town.
You sure can make that survival. Oh, the 19. Do you get a plus since you used that thing, or was the plus already the plus?
I already put it in.
Ah, okay.
Yep.
Very nice. And yeah, with this new gained knowledge, you start your journey, and you start now proceeding to descend the hills. And with that new bit of knowledge, you make quick way back to the Zephyrus Archives, and nothing particularly intrusive or dangerous happens on the way to get there, as you finally, after many hours of traveling, and you probably take a few rests, if there's anything else you would like to do in this probably 18-hour, or no, not 18, but maybe like 16-hour walk. Say it now, otherwise we just say you reach your destination comfortably.
I will bring something up. So as we're kind of traveling together, are you in human form? You're not human, elf.
No, I would be in elf form since we are traveling a long distance and we don't know what's going to happen. I would be keeping my wild shape in case of emergency.
Gotcha. Okay. So as we're all traveling together, and I make sure everybody's in earshot. So I want to pose a question to you all. Maybe more of a thought experiment. So I look back at Bashina. So my father was killed in Tellus, as some of you know. He was honestly one of the best men I've ever known. Caring, kind. He loved all races, all peoples, all cultures. He was a true. He deserved to live. But he was assassinated. And I'm not quite sure what to do with those feelings. My response was to kind of pause on my job and start learning magic and start finding a way to help the world kind of like he did. He wanted to share the Lishness magic and religion with everyone, and Hellas was part of that because they don't really have a connection with us. But they killed him. I guess my question for all of you is, what would you do if your father was killed while doing good? Would you want revenge? Would you try to take after him? What would you do? They'll kind of point to Eirik first.
Oh, well, I mean,
I know you're not too close to your parents, but maybe exchange it for somebody that you care about. Someone who has fond memories.
well, it's not that I'm not close with them, just like I still care about them. They were just not around, and I didn't really ever know too much about what they were doing. Because every time that they came and visited, they were like trying to shower me with, you know, affection and like, you know, we didn't really ever get to talk about what they did because they were trying to just help me, you know, take me to eat somewhere, you know, buy me a new set of clothes. They just kept trying to. So yeah, I care. Of course I would want revenge. I don't know what that, you know, in what form necessarily, but like obviously I would want to find out who did it and why. I'm a man of, you know, facts. It'd be nice to know what happened. Was there a reason for someone wanting to kill him? You know, I'd want to just find out the information.
Okay, so you'd want to know more about it before you took a certain course.
Well, yeah, I mean, I didn't come into this thinking that I was going to come out and kill a whole bunch of people and animals and demons and creatures and all these things. And it just, you know, as we're putting pieces together, I'm, you know, starting to realize that that's kind of just what's going to have to happen. So if it came to it, then sure, yeah, I would go after whoever did it or whatever did it. But I'm not just going to be like, oh my God, I got to go kill something now.
So it's quite reasonable. What about you, Sheena? Are you close to your parents at all?
I told the story before. They wanted me to go into politics and stuff me up with religion stuff. So when I was younger, I wasn't very fond of them. Still do appreciate what they have done to me. They allowed me to have an education. I was in a quite privileged position that I don't want to take away. That's like, I think, one of the many things that you try to avoid thinking about. I think I'm take the same course of action as Eirik. I mean, I would like to know why, at least. Is what I would like to say is that what I would do if I would actually be so composed to and patient to figure out what they've done. Yeah, I would at least try and do that.
See. Azrael?
Well, this is something that I've thought about my entire life, being in the position that I am. My father being such a public figure, I know that is something that can happen. That probably was attempted in the past that I haven't been aware of when I was younger. Probably my parents have kept me in the dark from this um, to protect my childhood. So it is something that I had to kind of grow up thinking about. And it's kind of funny because had you asked me that question maybe before I headed off to the archives to study, I would have been with the others and said I would, you know, probably try to figure out what happened and why and who and all that. But nowadays, if my father was assassinated like tomorrow morning, as much as I love my father deeply and my mother as well, don't get me wrong, I would be angry. I think angry would be the best word to describe this, but I would use this anger to fuel my purpose that I have now. I would not let my father's death or my mother's death go in vain and just pettily try to figure out who did it just so that this person pays. I would use that anger to double down and fuel up that thing that I'm doing because I know this is the right thing.
I think I stopped walking. I think you're a better person than me then. I got in contact last night.
Did my father answer you?
He couldn't. He's alive. But he was attacked. His bodyguard mentioned an assassination attempt. And he is in critical condition. But he was alive last night.
So everything that I just said, out the window. My father was a soldier before he became, he was in the military and then he became a noble and worked into this. The fact that someone tried to assassinate him And if you're saying he's in critical condition, that means they almost succeeded. Tells me that it is someone that is extremely skilled, or a group that is extremely skilled. And I am probably a target, or a side target, and or slash I might need to take my father's place. Depending on like what's going on and how was he in Corvalli or was he in Suna Anir? That's the question. Because depending on the state of the world when we come back to civilization, that's gonna kind of dictate, unfortunately, my next steps.
Well, I'll leave that for you to decide. And if you want me to check in again, I will. You don't know his bodyguard's name, do you? That would make it a little bit easier to send a message.
You would.
Yeah, right?
He's like, he was like an uncle to you. You know the guy. He's a very, like, one of the people that your father trusted with his entire body and soul. He probably talked, like, during dinner about stories when he was in the military and, you know, the things they went through together because they were comrades back in the days. And when they grew up, when their paths split, so the bodyguard decided to, you know, protect his best friend for the rest of his life. And his name is Veltrax Dunkelbinder, who is a male drow. Thank you, assistant.
So, Veltrax is basically the equivalent of Arya to me.
Right, that's why I tried to send them a message, and luckily it was successful.
If Veltrax is alive and my father is alive, that's kind of a relief to me. But I am concerned about my father.
Well, you know, I could look into the future, but it won't change anything.
I'd rather not how can I say this? I'd rather not live maybe my father's last few days knowing for sure how and when. I'd rather hold on to the hope that the clerics are good and that my father's purpose isn't over yet.
Okay.
Well, if you don't mind, once we're back in the city, just maybe get some news on how he's doing and say hi to Veltrax from me.
I'll do exactly
if you don't
that.
mind. If you don't mind.
No worries. I like to make connections. Uh, well, we've gone through all three of you. It'd be a shame if I didn't say what I would do, or what I plan to do. I may have been hiding some information. Surprise, surprise. Hard not to. I've been hiding a lot of things because of my job, because of where I'm born, and just everything I know seems dangerous. So I knew when Tellus attacked my home a couple days ago because I saw it happen. I saw them attack the gate. I saw the death. I saw the soldiers. I saw who was leading it. I saw it all. And I saw my brother because he was guarding the Helios gate. And I saw him die. First, my father was killed by those people when he wanted to do nothing more than help them. And now my brother died after wanting to keep an eye on them. I want to hurt them. I want to stop them. And I want to crush whoever decided it was a good idea to kill good men for war. I don't blame the soldiers, but I will crush whoever is in charge of sending the people of Tellus to war, and whoever decided to kill my father.
Didn't Harold mention that maybe the Dark Resistance had anything to do with this? With what's happening, like, right now?
My assumption is that that is the army being used, but they are being puppeted by someone much more devious. And they have strings here in Azathia and in Colas. I want to know who the puppet master is.
I understand your feeling more now than ever. But my only advice would be to use that rage for good. Not just for your father, not just for your brother, but for everyone else that has had to suffer through all of this.
That is the plan. Because once they're out of the way, then good can begin. The war can end.
I don't know about Eirik. I can probably assume Arya's gonna follow me, but you can count on me. Because who else? Who else would be behind my father's assassination than, well, assassination attempt, than whoever is just pulling strings everywhere, trying to pit everyone against each other.
Yeah, unfortunately, Arya has descending stones. But it would be nice to talk to those two again.
Aren't you able to send them a message?
I can. I like to think about it. Tonight, once we get to town, I'll start connecting this web. Wait, we trust Harold and Cinnifer, and they're working against this group. I plan to use anything I can to unravel this. People like your father shouldn't be getting assassinated. People like my father shouldn't be. They're the greatest people around. They deserve life more than anyone else. So yeah, I'll put this energy toward going to work.
Right. So, things first is let's try and get back. And eventually your sight is greeted with that of the city walls of Delith Zolis. The city that surrounds the Zephyrus archives. There's a few token, but you will be down here. You can really start to begin to notice the change in atmosphere, specifically the smell changes as cooked foods start to kind of go to your nose and maybe getting you a bit hungry, and of course the sounds of busy people starting to walk about, and you can also see the top of the sky the astral vestige kind of reappearing again as the sun once again, coming at the end of the day, is starting to set. As you go through the gates, you can see some of the guards that have been placed here. You step inside onto the cobblestone road. Comforting for your feet after walking so long around on mud, dirt, going over roots, vines and moss, but are now back from where you have left 4 days ago. Well, I think 5 days ago. And that is where we're going to end today's session.
We made it.
Yes, yes, you have.
Oh,
Oops, I didn't mean to end that.
Very, very dramatic and emotional. I fucking love it.
yeah.
Yeah, depending on your answer, I may not have told you so. I had to. So do we think Arya's... Uh-oh.
Oh, Jesus.
Like, no, I don't want any part of this. This is too much. This is crazy. What are you doing to me? For real, holy shit.
What a session.
What a decision indeed, especially the ending now is...
She's just had enough.
No. Started with Calyx, with a dagger in his heart.
For our problems.
Bip.
Beep,
Boop,
There
boop,
I
boop.
am.
There you go.
Boop, boop, boop. Boop, boop, boop. Yes. The people made it. You survived. Travels back. Now, can go back into more research and investigation.
What to research?
Fitting. Fitting.
Yep.
Mm.
Yep.
Yeah, it's a lot to do. Arya missed quite a bit, but we'll see what has happened, or what will happen to her. I guess I should say.
Yeah, good luck with the recap next time. We did a lot of random stuff.
Yep, the recap as it's just getting ever so complex. Always the biggest difficulty of a recap is like, from where should I start? It's like, how far back should I start this thing going? But yeah, oh my god, this might have been the most emotional. Or was it the most emotional? I think yeah.
Yeah.
When we found that girl, that was pretty. The girl that was, experimented on. That was pretty sad.
Yeah.
That was so
but
early
I
though. We
think-
hadn't. Yeah.
Yeah, that's true. You weren't like quite into your characters as you are now, I think, and now
It was emotional in the way of like we were just like, what the fuck?
yeah, and trying to help her.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Who knows what state she's in? Tell us. We're never gonna find out.
Wow, she dead. Did you forget what happened in Nabwa after you left?
Oh, the demons. We left
Yeah.
when there was demons and then like a coup and like
Yep.
Yeah.
dang it. All we wanted to do was all Kai wanted to do was bring her to Lich. That would have been insane if we could actually do that. Get her, but my father didn't die. He was able to help.
Yeah.
That would have been different.
First campaign was something like emotion-wise.
That was our
We-
introduction to Jack's world. Was that first
We
campaign.
we didn't know what we got ourselves into, so like every session was like this emotionally.
Yeah.
What are we doing?
Now
Demons.
we're getting into a session and we're like, okay, what's he gonna throw at us now?
Yeah, and this time you're holding your hands up like you're waiting a ball to be thrown. You're like,
Yeah.
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 Oh my god. Yeah. I hope Arya's here next time. I want to hear what her experience is gonna be.
Yeah.
He's like this new faction of people that watches realities and tries to fix tears. See, when I was making Fira, I was half thinking, okay, I want Doctor Strange meets like Dr. Fate meets like Indiana Jones. I was trying to combine all these things I liked.
and now you can have it. Yes. Yeah, the world is definitely opening up
Yeah,
bit by bit.
so much going on.
Yeah.
I have to keep sending messages so we know what the hell's happening.
We only know like this much of it.
Exactly. Oh.
Yeah.
Hey, but now you're in civilization, so
Yep.
gonna explore a bit more and maybe try and find out more stuff. Okay. I think we should say goodbye to the viewers. And
Yes.
Bye.
hopefully
Bye
see,
to the viewers.
Bye.
hopefully see us next week. I'm shaking my hand.